Yeah, it's one of those handy dandy little RPGs that does some really cool stuff. Yeah, what kind of stuff?
Oh,
Well,
what's up?
oh, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
No, I was just gonna blabber while he was gone.
Yeah.
But here.
What kind of stuff have you played, Max? I know we did the Project
Yeah,
Dark, which became
I was actually
Leverage.
just about to talk about that. I was like, I missed Project Dark, but no, I've just played like D&D
Mhm.
casually, casual D&D player. Um, but I think this is more like more RPG than that kind of, right? Like
It's
more
it's more
discussion.
Yeah, well, it's more kind of character stuff. It's got social mechanics are a big part of it. There's a general, and you'll see how it works in character creation. But there's a general conflict that's used for all of them. Much more about characters than kill monsters, take their loot,
Right, right.
which is never like hasn't been my thing since like junior high really.
Yeah, it gets boring quickly.
What was funny because the Project Dark is actually a little more dungeon crawly. Like we ended up doing Leverage though because it was we were more into the heist part of it,
Yeah.
but the whole
Oh
stealth
man,
thing.
Project Dark was awesome. I just the other day I wanted to like hit up Matt here and be like, dude, remember when we climbed up the privy to steal
Yeah.
something? That's the best RPG moment. My
Well, I,
favorite.
I had him for a little bit. We were trying to do a online
All right, excellent.
leverage
All is well.
turned into
Yeah.
it, but Matt's kind of flaky,
Yeah.
like really flaky. Okay, so I'll just give a quick rundown. Dogs in the Vineyard. If you want to think of like the 1970s Hulk TV show,
Yes.
but with Mormon paladins in pre
Okay.
in pre statehood Utah, that's essentially where you're at.
So we basically wander from town to town looking to be accepted until we hulk out and have to go on the road again?
Well, not quite that part of it, but
Sorry.
the watchdogs in the Vineyard are essentially the people in your village kind of keep track if people seem like they might be a good watchdog, they will recommend you, and then like a dog will usually come check you out, and then if they think that you have what it takes, they'll send you to Bridal Falls. Now, what the watchdogs are is they're basically the keepers of the faith.
Okay.
They do stuff. They travel around from town to town. They bring mail. They bless babies. They help out here and there, and they
Kind
also
of like a cross between a Texas Ranger and a traveling judge, or
yeah.
something like this.
Yes.
And the thing about
Hang people.
Yes.
Yeah.
like I said, the best thing, the reason why this is always fun to run is the very last thing at Fear the Con, and Tim's been a part of, I think, both of those I've done. The really great thing is I get to stop being involved in the last hour, and you mostly get to watch people argue moralities they personally find reprehensible,
Nice.
which is kind of fantastic. Because
Nice.
here's the thing: is you are by definition correct.
Okay.
Like whatever you sort of come up with is correct.
Oh, kind of like the Justicars in Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is, where it's just basically they've been given license to enforce the law, and it's whatever they think is wrong, and they're just giving carte blanche to just right injustice, however, wherever, whenever they perceive it to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't have a whole lot of luck saying Mormon paladins, but when I say Western Judge Dreads, that helps a lot.
Yeah. Western Judge Dreads if they were Mormon.
Right.
Okay, so I'm creating a character sheet for each of you real quick. Character generation, actually, the nice thing is it goes pretty quick. It is... Oops, just a second. I did not duplicate. Let me duplicate it first. Or wait, no, I'm sorry. I duplicated down here, didn't it? Yeah, it did. Let me take you away from that real quick.
Excuse me.
Okay, so pretty much everything you do here uses the same, like fighting any kind of. Oh, I can just do this. Any kind of conflict uses the same resolution system, and it takes this idea that you start with, like if you start with talking, that's just like certain dice, and then if it gets up to physical, where you're actually like on intimidation, bumping each other, then other stuff gets kind of rolled in. If it gets up to actually like using like fisticuffs, something else, then gunfire comes above that. So it actually actually rewards sort of starting with conversation and working your way up.
Okay.
Whoops. Oh yeah, something just popped up as I hit the wrong one. But yeah, so what I'm doing now is over in the characters, there's going to be one with each of your name on it. You'll be able to change that, but I'll just put it there for now. Okay, so those are in
It's a journal, yeah.
Yep, in the journal at the bottom, and those are characters. I will move where those are at here in just a moment, just so that they are up with the actual characters. Something they changed some of the ways the layout here works, which moved a few things. And I go ahead and take Brother Jack, Brother Isaac. Well, we just do this. Okay, so what you want to do is open up those, and there's places in there to go ahead and put all your character information.
I'm sorry. I'm not seeing where the journal is or where the.
Okay. Oh, are you familiar with Roll20?
No.
Okay.
This is my first.
Over on the right where there's that little chat window.
Yes.
There's one that looks like a little newspaper.
Yes.
That is, if you open up that.
Okay.
What you're gonna see, and I'm gonna put you guys in a folder here real quick. That's the journal. That's basically where all of like the game information type stuff is kept.
Okay.
So there's stuff in there that are handouts, which are I put some of the rule stuff on there, and there's a thing for like character sheets up there, and actually let me do this. Let me take it out of the character sheets. It's its own separate thing. There's one for Dogs in the Vineyard, and each of you have one in there.
Okay.
Mine's coming up as a Firefly.
Oh, yeah, ignore that middle part. That's because I have it set up if I want to run Firefly. They've actually got it in there. All your stuff is actually on the bio and info sheet.
Oh, got it. Okay.
If you hit... Wait a minute. Where did that stuff... Wait, did I fuck up?
Yeah.
Okay, I fucked up. However, all this information is... Okay, what the hell happened? Because I had... Okay, let me pull something in real quick. Because I had it all set up. I can grab it off of the other campaign that we actually had run this on. Which one would it have been? Was it Project Dark? It wasn't that. It's odd that didn't come in. I mean, granted, it's not terribly hard to kind of have this stuff there because there's not a ton on the sheets, but it is still nice to have. I don't think I had it in the Monster Hearts. Yeah, those are supposed to be under... I don't think it was under Wheeled. Oh, it definitely wouldn't be under there. Well, shit. It won't be hard to put the stuff in the character because there's not a lot to the character sheets as far as they are.
Okay.
So I mean, it's essentially. I can kind of put this in here real quick. You've got a couple different stats. And I'll just go ahead and put those under the bio and info. So what happens is you have dice codes for all of your things, and you've got a couple different stats. If you look under character creation.
Okay, hold on. I've got my character sheet open, so let me minimize that and then go over to character creation. Character sheets. Oh, is it in the journal section or?
Yeah, under the journal section is a bit on character creation.
Handouts, Marvel Heroic, Ghostbusters, Firefly, Dogs in the Vineyard. Ah, here we go. Okay.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste something in here, stuff real quick. So right now, Max, I'm in yours. I'm putting just a real quick text thing because I had those all nicely boxed up, and I don't know what happened to those. Okay, so I'm going to save Max's and put underneath everybody else. So you start off, Okay, so Tim, I've got on yours, and then Noble Bear, I've got yours saved. Okay, so everyone's saved. So under character creation, under Dogs in the Vineyard, if you look at character creation 1, you've got basically a couple different types of backgrounds: the well-rounded, strong, complicated, or well-rounded, strong history, complicated history, strong community, or complicated community. And what you want to do is just choose one of those. And basically, so like the person you're thinking of, do they come from a place where a lot of people were behind them, or they had just like a lot of family standing behind them as far as their history goes, or were things difficult in history, or did you come from a place that things were difficult, or are you fairly well-rounded?
Should we like copy those stats in or something?
Well, actually, you may want to just keep that in a window up there, because what you're going to end up doing is dividing up those stats.
Okay.
If you look at character creation 2, you'll actually see how the stats kind of work. Oops.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So yeah, so the way those stats work, they tell you what each one means, but the biggest thing is in conflict. If you're just talking, you roll acuity plus heart. If you're doing something physical but not fighting, body and heart. If you're fighting hand-to-hand, body and will. If you're gunfighting, acuity and will, and you can't re-roll any of those dice. So like if you roll up, if you start talking, it gets into like kind of bumping, and then into fist fights, and then guns come out. Like you have less dice you can roll, but you're still bringing all of them up. But those will let you know kind of what makes the character good at them. So what you want to do is choose one of those histories, and you can start off with the stat dice. And you have to have at least 2d6 in the stat, but you can split them up among the 4 however you like.
All right. So I'll go with complicated community. It says I start with a 15d6.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm taking that number and then dividing it up between my primary stats.
Yep, so between those 4, have to have at least 2d6, but can be as high as you want. There's no upper limit. You put them in there. Like 5 and 6s are usually pretty high compared to other people's.
Okay. Now, the fact that I'm looking at a what looks to be a Firefly character sheet.
Ignore that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
if you go under the bio part of it, I've got the character sheet information in the.
Gotcha. Okay. Seeing it. Okay.
I will have to fix that. Oh, or actually, well, shit, we can do it that way. You can actually put them under attributes and abilities, but it doesn't really matter where you put them. Bio and info is fine for this type of game.
Oh yeah, because attributes and abilities. Okay.
What are trait dice versus like all this stuff?
Oh, we'll get into traits and stuff. We'll get into traits and relationships in a moment. And actually, pretty simple. They don't take particularly long.
Okay. Okay. So I'm taking my beginning stat dice and I'm dividing it up between these 5 stats.
4 stats.
4 stats. Okay.
Acuity, heart, body, will.
Okay. Gotcha.
And if you look under character creation 2, you'll actually see how those are used in conflicts, and gives you an idea of what each one means.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, I forgot that's where I put those stats. Why is that on there? Best look out.
Poke, poke. The dogs are coming.
Okay, let me know when you got your stats done.
Okay. What's considered average for a stat?
It's not really going to have an average as of such, but probably somewhere around like a 3.
Okay.
I mean, the actual like what the stat gives you is not terribly important. It's more how it works out in conflicts. Like you'll never be at a point where you've got to pretty much like, well, I've got a 5 body, so I can lift such and such.
Okay. Just if I'm nerfing a stat, I just want to make sure that I'm consciously aware that I'm nerfing his stat.
My cousin who works on Walking Dead keeps getting mistaken for Glenn because they're both Asian, but beyond that, they look nothing alike. Like the pictures of the two of them together, like you would never mistake them if they were together. But
Wow.
Oh my god. Does he even wear a ball cap? I mean,
no, well, actually, he is. I think he actually is in his main picture. I did tell him that basically, anytime someone does that, mistake that white person for Mitt Romney.
Dude, Mitt Romney could be a character in this game.
Okay.
Okay. So, okay. I guess I've got my my stats stuff divvied up.
Okay. Tim and Max, you guys got your stats?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, was it Tim's done this a few times. Okay, so the next part are your traits. Now, you have a certain amount of dice and traits. You cannot mix dice code. Like, you can't have gunfighter at 2d10 plus 2d4. Like, you can have, like, you can have multiple dice. You can have, like, a 40, like, if you got, like, I'm looking at complicated history with 4d4. I could have a 4d4 in something. So 4 4-sided dice, but I can't mix, like, a 4-sided die and a 2-sided die. What these are essentially statements that basically tell us things that you're good at or are important to you. And one way to think of basically obviously like higher types of dice with more of them are going to be something you're really good at that works for you very well. You could have like I'm a great gunfighter at like 2d4, and you're still a great gunfighter. It's just that it causes you a lot of problems. Is one way to look at it, because narratively, like you can get Fallout depending on how many dice you use, and we'll show you how that works in a minute. But Fallout can be good. It also becomes experience, essentially. So it's one of those things that when you're doing them, essentially the lower the die code, like D4 or so, the more problems it causes you. The higher, the more reliable it is. And then of course the number stuff you put in there. So what you want to do is some things like it's a good idea to put like I'm a dog as one of them. Because like essentially, if you come up to someone, what you do is you roll your stats, then you roll any traits you have that fit the situation. Then you roll any relationships. Now, being a dog in what your business is often going to matter. I mean, if like the police officer comes up to someone and is trying to yell at someone, the fact they're a police officer, they'll have some dice they would roll in with that, which would make someone a little more on edge. Now, if you didn't know they're a police officer, they wouldn't be able to roll it. But I mean, dogs are pretty. They said they wear these multicolored type coats, which means they stand out. So essentially what you want to kind of do is just a couple descriptors for your character, and then put dice on there. And then things
now,
like
is this something that I just conjure out of thin air, or do I choose from a list like before with my history?
For these, I mean, the history will tell you how many dice you get, and you can split up those dice. So if I've got complicated history, if I want to have like 4 things that are at 1d4, one thing at 2d6 and one at 2d10, I could. It just means those 4 things are going to cause me problems. If like ladies man D4 is the kind of ladies man who bad things happen.
But the attributes that you're attributing these dice to, you do make up. I mean, essentially, like I could be like gunfighter, sandcastle builder.
Yes,
whatever.
if you wanted to be like I'm an excellent sandcastle builder. I'm 2d10 in sandcastle.
So what? How is I'm a dog a trait? I guess.
Because the same way, so if you're talking with someone and they're just Joe off the street and you're getting into an argument, it'd be like a certain set of dice. Now, if he revealed that he's a Navy SEAL, that argument gets more tense immediately. Because physically now you're a little more worried about the training, or it could be if they're there to protect you. So like if someone doesn't know you're a dog, for example, like you don't have this authority, they might treat you one way, but the moment they know you're a dog, and usually these coats that the dogs wear make it pretty obvious. When they know you're a dog, that gives you power basically.
So do you add the stat dice like to your other rolls, or what?
Yeah. So basically, let's say I'm going to a thing where I am arguing with someone.
Yeah.
Where I come back, I'm like, you can't go into this building. Like someone's trying to get in this building to hurt somebody. So that's talking. So I'd roll my acuity plus my heart, and then I could look at my other stats and stuff and equipment and go, I also want to roll the fact that I'm a dog because my authority comes from that, and I might also roll, but say I have a trait that's like big bruiser. I'm just a big dude.
Okay.
And so I could choose to roll those dice in there, and then other like equipment and such if I wanted to. So any of the things you have on like having I'm a dog, like if you don't have I'm a dog as one of your traits, you definitely pick one up as a relationship. Because there's times the fact that you're a dog will help, and it can be used either way.
Now, I see here that because I chose complicated community, and it tell me how many I get in stat dice. Then it says 66 and 2d8 in trait dice.
You can split those up however you want. With a 60, you have you're what, complicated community?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at relationships. Like you will have a lot of relationships. You'll have less traits than someone else. And the thing is, like, some of those relationships, we'll get to that in a minute, but you get to save and use. But some of those relationships can also be like say you put you used to be an alcoholic before you became a dog. You could have a relationship with alcoholism or alcohol, and then use that against someone who was drunk. Stuff like, I mean, there's a number of ways it can be used. So yeah, so if you've got complicated community, you have your 66 and 2d8. You can split that up however you want, but you can't have like a d6 and a d8 in the same trait.
I see.
Okay.
Okay, and again, these traits are just things that I'm deciding are appropriate for the character.
Yep, they're descriptive. If you want to think things like fate, descriptors of fate, or distinctions and leverage or firefly.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab a drink real quick. Are any questions before I grab a quick drink?
Are there any traits you recommend?
I think I want to start writing some of this down for myself.
Yeah,
So.
biggest thing. I mean, I suggest having I'm a dog, but beyond that, things that just describe your character. If you want to think of, like if you took the man with no name, you'd have like great gun, like gunslinger kind of high. You'd have like silent, intimidating type. Maybe it's something. But like if you just want to think of things that would describe the character you're thinking of, that's all, or skills that they have. So there's two ways to do it: either like their skills or the stuff that describes who they are.
Okay.
Okay, I'll be back in just a sec.
Sure.
And back with whiskey.
Again.
I have written down over here. I see.
Are like still like I don't know, lockpicking, like are those even relevant to this game, or?
They can be. You don't tend to run into like locks a ton.
Okay.
That's sort of Wild West. I mean, it might be something
So being Jill Valentine may or may not help you.
Well, I would say this: like, if you used to be like a thief, that's something that would be a little more useful.
I figured you, the master of unlocking, could use these more.
So, like if you want something like lockpick, like if you used to be like a thief or blacksmith or something along those lines, would give you a bit more use to it. You don't tend to see a lot of. This is much more come to town, see what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, we are the sheriffs. I mean, we'll just tell them to open the door.
Yeah,
or,
that's what I was
A
thinking.
lot of times.
or if you have
Um,
to knock it down, you
for sure.
Yeah. Michael, I'm assuming it's fine to ride out the old Bobby Ray.
oh yeah, you know your stuff.
Okay.
What kind of weapons and like stuff are there in this too? Like, what kind of technology do we have?
Wild West, if you want to think like
Okay.
1880s roughly. Probably, I mean, may technically be a little bit before that, but like the things you'd find in a cowboy film.
Okay.
I'm gonna go grab some water.
Okay.
Hmm.
Are we allowed to like gamble and stuff or no? Because we're like priests.
Well, the thing is, it's one of those things where you maybe aren't supposed to, but the dogs aren't necessarily perfect people.
Okay.
So it's one of those things where if you are a gambler, maybe even were a gambler, because the fact that you were a gambler, if you've got someone who is gambling or people are gambling in some sort, like this is sort of pre-statehood Mormonism. So, and to a large degree, you guys kind of, if you're playing especially over a whole bunch of sessions, the players really start to define what the faith actually means.
For
Like
sure.
the book itself has some stuff like polygamy is allowed sometimes. It kind of has to be earned. Women are not supposed to be shepherds, or stewards rather. Women are not supposed to be stewards of towns. There's a number of those sort of religious um, edicts that were fairly common to religions at the time.
Hmm.
Are there like horses and stuff we can ride?
Yep. Yeah, you will have horses, you'll have guns, you'll have a number of things like that. And essentially, when it comes down to gear, you can pretty much grab what you want as far as gear goes.
So like, would horseback riding be a good trait? Or
Yeah,
like, not really?
like horsemanship can be important.
All right.
That's where our belongings.
Hmm.
So check sometimes and actually see what you're doing.
Um, I guess. I don't know. I'm kind of stuck on traits.
Mhm.
Just I wrote down brick wall just because my character can really take a hit.
Yep.
And oh, hello. My wife just got home. Hello, please. How are you? I'm playing all the role-playing games. It is so much fun. Yeah. So I went with Brick Wall because I want him to really take a hit that whenever he sees people getting into a scrap and there's somebody that he thinks is being castigated, just stand right there and just take the hit for them, and till the guy gets tired or something, and then he just smacks him back.
Just a big dude.
Yeah.
Other things, are there other things you're looking at or trying to figure out?
Yeah. I mean, just beyond that, I mean, I don't really know what else to write down. I mean, it's.
Well, I would definitely take I'm a dog. It's something, and probably like someone who is essentially a very confident in who they are. Is like a dog would have a higher die code, but if you had someone who was not wearing it particularly well, was still sort of nervous. I don't know if you ever met like a cop who just started being a cop and is really nervous about it. Stuff would be things along those lines.
Okay. Why are people chosen to be dogs? I mean, because obviously somebody's doing this recruiting, or do they say, or do people volunteer and then
they're usually someone sees you as someone who might be. There's a number of reasons. It could be headstrong, but in a way that could be good to help enforce. The laws or the rules of the faith. It could be someone who's very pious. There's different reasons people are grabbed, and some because they're the perfect sort of like representation of the faith. Other people, this person struggles a lot, but they'll be able to take those struggles to help others who are also struggling. So there can be a number of reasons.
Okay.
It might help to take a look at Brother Bobby Ray. Because Tim's played this before. He sees this character. He's got the big damn thumb bitch. Despite all evidence, I'm right. That's fantastic.
I got that one through my trial.
Mm-hmm.
I was fighting a pride trial and I lost. So it seemed appropriate.
So have you played Brother Bobby Ray in a bunch of games?
In your 2 games,
Okay.
And I think I played an iteration of Emma Gen Con.
See if Max has got. Hope he hasn't saved it yet.
All right, I'm good to go.
Hey, do me a favor, hit save on yours, Max, so we can take a look at it.
Sure.
Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. Damn, you used to be quite a gambler. Or are you still a gambler?
That's what we'll find out, I guess.
Okay, cool. So, Nobleberry, you're kind of figuring out, or you want to keep some things in mind and then see what?
Yeah, I've got 3 traits written down. I'll allocate some stuff to that,
Okay.
and then see how it goes from there.
Okay, the next 2 parts can kind of be done like roughly one after the other. You'll see there's one called belongings that you can go ahead and bring up, but there's 2 parts. You have your relationship dice, and then you can just kind of grab whatever you want for belongings, and you can kind of look through, give them a sort of a die code. 1d6 if it's normal, 1d4 if it's crap, 2d8 if it's excellent plus big. It shows toward the bottom sort of what those are. Now for belongings, your coat will be one. So I don't know if you can kind of see the picture here. Oh, it actually shows up decently. The Yeah, the dogs themselves have these really fancy coats that are made by the people in their community usually. If not, people at Bridal Falls will end up making them.
Doesn't Kramer wear one of those coats in Seinfeld at one point?
Sort of.
Oh, isn't
Sort
that
of.
kind of like Joseph in his coat of many colors?
Kind of. And they'll have different patterns on it, and it might mean a number of different things to the characters. So you'll have that for, like, that's definitely one of your belongings, and things like a horse and gun and stuff like that. So the belongings you can just sort of choose, write down, and then write down, you'll see at the bottom of the belongings one what their die codes are. So basically, D6 if it's normal, 2D6 if it's excellent, 1D8 if it's big, 2D8 if it's excellent plus big. Like, if you've got, like, a really awesome, huge revolver, 2 to be 2d8. 1d4 if it's crap. Crap plus big is still 1d4. And you can kind of choose whatever you want for that. But the other thing you have is relationships. Now, relationships, it actually recommends saving quite a few of them, simply because you don't know who you're going to meet yet. And this is sort of that thing where there's a lot of relations. Like, you can kind of claim someone as a relation at any time, or that you have if you've got extra dice available, a relationship with them. So relationships can be a few different things. It doesn't necessarily have to be like this particular person, like my older brother who I worship or I adore, could be one. You can also sometimes have relationships with institutions, sins, demons. Oh, and I will say this too about demons. You'll see up on the side where it's got the sin leads to pride, or pride leads to sin, leads to false doctrine, leads to false priesthood, leads to hate and murder.
Yeah.
There are demons at work in the world. The way I always run it, you'll never see a demon in the flesh. What they're there to do is essentially, if we take a modern day situation, let's say I own a car shop.
Okay.
And I have gone to, like, I'm worshiping incorrectly the way I'm not supposed to, which will lead me to damnation. Demons, if they're trying to corrupt me, will make things work out for me. So I do this thing, I bury this coin that someone says will help because I'm desperate, because I'm failing. And the demons will have people's car break down, make sure things get there. And my business will be booming. Will get better and better, where other people will have problems and they have to come to me because the demonic forces are doing this, so I keep going back to that thing, so my soul is eventually damned.
Oh, kind of like the painting of Dorian Gray or something like that.
Okay. So essentially, like, the demons are working sort of behind the scenes. Like there are times where you might actually be up against them sort of dice-wise, where that might be taking, and like there are ceremonies you can use to, like, exorcism type stuff to go against them. But they do influence the world around you. So if you've got, like, someone who's has a false style of priesthood, like, you follow me, and what I do is I cut open this chicken, spread its blood, and I say, screw the god of life, and then all this stuff happens, or screw the king of life, and all this stuff happens, and it'll happen for me because they're trying to get more people involved. So, and that's when a certain types of a certain demon shows up. If that becomes a thing, you can put it down. But it can be like sins, institutions, or people is probably the best way to look at it.
Okay.
Like an alcoholic might have a relationship with alcohol.
How do I write on the sheet that you've given me?
Mm-hmm. Oh, all you have to do is hit edit, and then
go down
to bio and info, and you'll put that there. And then, like I said, there's a thing called available relationship dice. Any relationship dice you don't spend, feel free to spend. Since it's sort of a one shot, there's a pretty good chance you have a lot of relatives or people you know in this town, and you're always free to claim, I know this person, spend the dice, and then that becomes a relationship.
So it might be better to just hold on to them for now.
Yeah, and like basically, unless there's like a particular institution or like if like a sin or something along those lines that you want to have a relationship with, I might go ahead and save it because it'll come in handy as you go through.
See. Okay.
As if you want to take a look at how that works, I mean, Tim's done this a couple times, so his is all filled out. Yeah, the blood 1d6 is just if you have technically his Uncle Jesse is a dog. That should be at 2d6 because anyone you determine as blood gets a d6 regardless of the die code. Like, you can actually have a 1d8 plus 1d6 if that's my uncle. Like my uncle who I have a 1d8 with will also have a d6 because they're blood. Uncle Jesse is a dog. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Just has been a dog for a while.
It's the only way I got in.
Oh, that's what I forgot to check. And let me know once you've got that, because what I'll do, Tim knows the system, so I'll kind of we probably run him through well, we want to consider you've already got your trial and such.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just pop it with them and show them how it works.
Okay.
One nice thing is character creation actually ends with showing how the system works, which is nice. Yeah, I will say for Fear the Con, Tim, I'm pretty sure you're on there, and if not, I'll get you in if you want it. But I think that Fear the Dogs of the Vineyard was one of the first ones I did that filled way the fuck up.
I think I'm in there.
Yeah. That and the Marvel or the Cortex Plus Dramatic also signed up, also got it pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, does traditional law and order exist in this setting?
There is the territorial authorities. Now, for the most part, they stay out of
Like,
where you're at.
I was going to say something like a sheriff or something.
Yeah, they
basically.
do exist. They usually stay out of your guys' territory. You're sort of left because you're not part of the territory yet. So, but once in a while, they do actually kind of come in and become a problem.
Okay. Interesting.
Oh, damn.
Oh yeah. Looking over Bobby Rayshirt gives me a couple of ideas.
Mhm.
Okay. Let me change this one.
I will just say I am not a role model.
I thought you and Paul G's characters were going to come to blows last time. That was great.
Well, he was wrong. And I'm way better off when this actually goes to a fight.
It's more fun that way, maybe.
Yeah, like I said, that's the point in the game where I get to just sit back and watch people. We need to kill this person. We need to kill this woman for thinking that she could actually be someone who was preaching to the congregation. You're like, that's such a terrible thing to do, but that's what the characters would do. It's they say that part is so fascinating. If one of you gets ready before the other one, I can actually start running you through the trial that you go through. That's the very last part.
Oh, so Michael, just so you know, I haven't sent you an email.
Mhm.
I have this thought about Alice.
Uh-huh.
Alice isn't the Alice; she's an Alice.
Ooh.
So it's sort of like a title.
Mhm.
So I
Did you
don't
kill
know.
the previous one?
No, but because Robert Louis Stevenson wrote that book like 1800 something, right? Am I wrong? I'll look it up.
Okay.
Wikipedia. What would I do without you?
1865.
So I'm figuring that was the first Alice.
Mhm.
And so I'm okay with old man William being pissed at me thinking I did it. But I wanted you to know it's sort of like a title.
Okay. I'm almost wondering, it could be interesting if the residents of Wonderland, being fairy, can't tell the difference.
That'd be fine.
Like, it could be kind of interesting. I mean, we can do it either way, but it could be kind of cool if by their nature, once you have assumed being Alice, you have become the only Alice they've ever known. And all that kind of wraps up.
So I can keep saying it wasn't me, and they'll just think I'm lying.
They have absolute like they're sort of stuck in the story, and so they have no way to understand that it wasn't actually you.
Okay.
Yes, if you don't want that, that's cool. But I think it could be kind of neat.
I love it. I just wanted you to know what I was envisioning the situation as. So I'm good with that compromise.
You guys doing okay, or you need a?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty much done here.
I need a minute. I'm sorry.
Okay. That's fine. I can actually start Max and show how the system works, because the last part of what happens is show that the system works. Okay, so you've been brought to Bridal Falls. You've been trained, and essentially what they try to do is drill sergeant your all of the things about you that could keep you weak, that could hold you back, all the things that are sort of not pure, like, I don't know, you're gambling maybe, because you have 1d10 in gambling, which means you're really good, but you have a 2d4 in dog, which means being a dog causes problems for you, which is awesome. What they do is they have a final test where they put you through. Now say, what is it that you hope your character accomplishes during your initiation? Like, what do you think, what is he hoping to overcome, or to prove, or to do?
Let's see. Yeah, let's just say he's trying to leave his gambling ways behind him and find stability.
Okay, so you have been sent to, for your initiation, you've been sent outside of the actual sort of area of where your people sort of rule, out to a small town with very, very little money. And were you a compulsive gambler?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to show you the way this sort of works. So you don't have a lot of money. You end up in a tavern one night. Do you drink much? Like, well, you're not supposed to. There are definitely people that enjoy it.
It's not a problem of mine. Oh, I meant to add that in there, though. I was going to say I'm opium addict.
Oh, okay. Do you want to go with that?
Opinism finds all types. Yeah, let me just add that as in my relationship.
Oh, nice. Oh, with opium. Okay, cool. So you end up at a sort of a den of iniquity. We'll say. So I'll show you how this works. So I roll all these dice. I start off with 46 plus 40, 10, and I'll show you how. Can I just grab all of them at once? I think I can. Oh, damn it. Okay, I can do it one at a time. So what I do is, if you, in that thing you roll, like, you hit slash roll, and then you put the type of dice that you roll. So for me, for this one, I roll 40, 10 plus 46 to represent the opposition. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and set the stakes. So I start off by setting the stakes. You're in there. Were you? Do people are people occasional opium addicts?
It kind of goes with the gambling, you know.
Yeah.
Once I start winning, yeah.
Yeah. So you don't have much money. I'm assuming. Would you end up gambling? Do you want to start where your character started gambling, or where you realize you have very little money and the gambling might help make, because you see some easy marks. We'll go with that actually.
Okay.
You see some easy marks. So what I do here, I pull out a 5. I put forth 2 dice. This is the stakes. So I have this pool of dice, and I actually cannot add to my pool of dice. But these are the stakes. I roll a 5 and a 1. And you realize at this point you have very little money. You don't have money for food. You don't have money for drink. You are far enough away that like getting back could be, you could do it, but they've sent you sort of far out. They have not given you a whole lot of direction. So right now you are essentially sort of not entirely even sure what you're supposed to do. And the fact that here you could make money, you could get a hit, and it's like your veins are sort of like you can almost feel that want in your blood to get a hit or even to gamble again.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're going to do, you're John Mayhem, dog.
Yeah.
So what you're going to do is you're going to start off. This starts off as a. Let me pull it up again. Let me just get that in the reference. So since we start off with a non-physical fight, it's acuity plus your heart. So you're definitely going to roll your acuity plus your heart dice. So that's 8d6. And then any of the traits you have or relationships you have that you think can help you here.
And am I like testing my willpower against gambling? I guess.
Well, it kind of depends. Are you? Do you want to gamble or do you want to stay away from?
I'm definitely gonna do it.
Okay.
So like I guess my gambling skill, or my relationship with gambling, and my trait, or.
Yeah. So you can do you can do the trait, the thing. So yes, you just want to do it to make some money, so you can like basically clean out these marks, and then you can maybe get home a little more easily.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, so what you'll do is your acuity plus your heart, so 8d6, plus your gambling, which is 1d10, plus your relationship with gambling, which is 1d6. Like all of these people that you're seeing, like these people are will fall to you pretty quick. You've done this before.
I just type like,
So yeah, so what you do is in the chat window, go down and type /roll.
I think I just did.
Okay. Did a whole? Then hit return. A whole bunch of dice should pop up. Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So do me a favor, just drag all of those up to like above where it says player raise and see. That'll actually be easier to do it like this. So you'll drag all those up there. This starts off as your pool. Now you kind of want to think of how the conflicts work a little bit like a hand of poker.
Okay.
And I'll show you a couple things to do because I've chosen some stuff on purpose to show you how the thing kind of works. Okay, so what I've done is I set the stakes with 2 dice, which I've done a 6 from what I've got. So what you do is you put 1 or 2 dice forward or actually 1 plus dice forward to meet me, and I'll show you what you do. You want to take like a 6 because you can do it with 1 dice, which is always better.
Right.
So if you put a 6 forward like that, what it means is, so you're sitting there, and so we'll go into say wanting to gamble and wanting to get money off these people.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll change the scene just a little bit. So you're gambling, you're wanting to take their money, and these guys are pretty easy marks. They're throwing at the wrong time. You can tell they're tells, but they're trying to bluff you. So I put the 5 and the 1. With a 6, you meet it pretty easily. This is called reversing the blow. So what you have to do is you normally have to put forward 2 to raise the stakes again, but with 1 you get to keep the one you've already put forward, and then you get to put 1 more die forward along with it to be the new stakes.
Okay. And I'm basically trying to only 1 more die though.
Yeah, for right now only 1 more die because every time the stakes are put, it's 2 dice. But then
so if I put like a 5 forward, am I raising the stakes to 11 or just 5?
To 11 because if you use 1 dice to match, then all you have to do is you get to keep that one out there, otherwise it goes away.
Okay.
So you'll drag another dice out to it.
Okay.
Okay. So you've met it. I'm going to remove these. Okay, so they're sitting there and they're kind of marks. One of them looks up at you and is like, thinks you're bluffing. You see him push in about half a stack. And that would have been what happened when I put my 5 and 1 down. You can tell he's bluffing, so what do you do?
I raise him.
Okay, so yes, it's essentially it would have been like the first 6 to meet it would have been something like, and we'll do this on this part.
Like I call or something.
Calling him bullshit, and then with the 6 there, raising him.
Yeah.
He kind of gets a little bit sweaty as he's kind of looking at you. He's not quite sure what to do. So he goes ahead, pushes all in with what he's got. So that's me meeting yours. Or actually, wait a minute. The 10, 11 would not.
Short.
Yeah, actually, so what he does, I got to put 3 dice in to meet yours. which means he would take Fallout. So to meet it, he has to put in these. Oh wait,
No, he
Yeah.
could just play 12, couldn't he?
well, let's just say I played the 3, which
Okay.
means he doesn't do as well. I would have to play some. He would end up taking some Fallout, which Fallout later on can become like experience and other stuff. As he sweats, he sort of puts it forward, and so he puts in the rest of his money, and then like goes all in and just looks straight at you, complete and total dead stare on his face. And goes, "You got the balls to go all in." Now for you, you've used these 2 6s, so these essentially go away, and you have a 15 that you have to beat.
And I can only put in 2 dice.
Well, you can put in more. 1 or 2 is what you want to do. Above that, it becomes Fallout, which we'll explain in a moment.
Yeah, and I'm like, fuck you, bro.
Yeah, bro, bring it, bro.
Yeah. So should I put enough to meet him then, or is
Yeah.
that like
So
required?
you basically, if you can't meet, you lose, or
Okay.
you have to escalate to something else.
Bam.
Okay.
And then
So because of that, because it took you 3. Oh, already have it out here? Okay. Because it took you 3. What you're going to end up doing is taking. If you want to make a note real quick, you have 3d4 Fallout right now because it's non-physical.
okay.
So right now, not a huge thing. So you'll have 3d4 Fallout. As you. So what do you do after you put them all in?
I like lean back and kind of flash my revolvers, which are resting at my hips. Just kind of stare at him.
Okay.
Fingers pointing like this.
So I want to say that. So 1, that does 2 things. So that's kind of your reply. Go ahead and roll your revolver into it too, because now you've brought your revolver into it. So you can roll those dice.
All right.
And then what you'll do is you'll put. Then once you've done that, you'll put 2 dice forward to set the stakes.
All right.
Okay, so you just put those 2 5s forward.
Yeah.
So yeah, he kind of looks at you. God damn it! Slams down like things, leaves, because he's only got a 4, so he's lost here. He can't possibly beat you. So out of anger, God damn it! Throws his things to the ground, gets up and walks away, cursing your name.
Cool.
So what you get now from there, because so you have not beaten this gambling thing that they were maybe hoping you would,
Oh yeah.
but you have returned back. But win or lose, you get a new D6 trait. So essentially, something along with that, you get a yeah, it's essentially an I1 distinction, like that you have done something. Maybe you're like good at bluffing D6, but you get a D6 trait.
Okay.
Then what you're going to do, go ahead and roll for Fallout. Go ahead and roll those 3d4.
Okay.
And
Okay.
what did you get? I'm not looking at it right
A 9.
now. Or, I'm sorry, did you get any 1s?
Yeah.
How many?
1.
Okay, so just 1 1.
Yeah.
Let me check that real quick on the Fallout. Okay, so yeah, you go ahead, you roll them. Your total's 9.
Yeah.
That will make a difference here. So Fallout sum is 8 or higher. You suffer lasting. You get a bit of long-term fallout. Yeah. So any 1s become experience. So if you look at the reference sheet.
Okay. Reference.
Oh, I'm sorry. What is your 2 highest?
4.
Okay, so 8. Okay, so you're actually pretty good. So on the reference sheet, you have an 8, and you have a 1. So the 1 is going to be something from the experience Fallout. You get to choose one of those. And then on the 8, you get 1 long-term Fallout. So because you did get the 8, which is unusual there, you'll also get one of those long-term Fallouts. You get 1 experience Fallout, 1 long-term Fallout that you get to choose that comes about because of that, because of what happened that night.
Wouldn't I want to like take a new trait or like always add something rather than subtract one from my stats?
Yeah, I mean the thing is the new trait just means a D4 will cause you some troubles once in a while, probably because it can only get so high when you're putting them forward like that. But yeah, so like you can kind of put a trait if it's cocky or overconfident, maybe something like that, because you went in and you kicked some butt.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And Noble Bear, you got yours?
Yeah, I'm done. I've got it saved, so you should be able to see what I've done.
Okay, so what is the thing that you were hoping that you would be able to accomplish during your training?
Uh, Wait, accomplish during the training?
Yeah, well,
Or,
you essentially at the end of your training you have an ordeal where
hmm.
they try to see if you have kind of become the sort of dog that they're looking for. If you have maybe
Mm.
beat your demons or if you've proven yourself, what is the thing that you wanted your character to accomplish or prove?
Um, just that he's competent and up for the task of being a dog.
Okay,
Um,
so you're someone who's nervous about being a dog.
well,
And
kind
just want
of,
to make sure
yeah.
that you're
Well,
going
I
to be
mean,
good for it.
like one of his things is that there was a lot of there was some moderate physical abuse, but mostly just a lot of emotional abuse, just generational from just insecurities translating into just talking shit. So something about like not being competent, not being up to the task, even though he's, fairly, adequate, intelligent, adequate skill level.
Who
It
is the
just,
person? Who is the person you got the most like emotional abuse from?
um, his grandfather.
Okay. Your ordeal is you go back home before you are given an assignment. Um,
Mm.
so get back home. As you get back there, your grandfather's sort of out front. How old is he? Is he older? Older?
Uh, yeah, he's older.
Okay. So at this point, he's not necessarily doing a lot of work. He's done his time. He's been able to kind of earn his ability to relax. He's on the porch when you sort of come back. Kind of looks up at you, and I put my 2 forward for the stakes. He goes, huh? Washed out there too, huh? Should have known you'd never be one of them.
Not done yet. I have one last test, and then they'll have their final decision. So,
Okay. So what you'll do is first you put back you'll roll your acuity plus your heart.
okay.
Any traits, relationships, or belongings that seem to fit.
Uh, well, I actually wrote my grandfather as a relation.
No, Gampa. Yeah, roll that because you know Gampa asshole.
Okay. Okay. So acuity plus heart plus
Any traits or relationships
okay.
that fit.
Okay. Oh, hold on. Let's do this. So slide that over, and so that I can still see what I'm doing here. Okay. It's 66. Plus 2 more, so that's 8.
Okay, so what you want to do is drag those up above where the players raise and see.
I said roll, and then something happened, and then
You rolled 18-6?
yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Was there anything else you're supposed to roll, or was that it?
No, that was it altogether.
Okay. So go ahead and put that up above where says the players raise and see.
Where is that? I'm sorry.
On the like here, up above here. Can you see that?
Oh, let me switch. Okay. Hold on, let me scroll this sideways. There's reason C, And oh, there's my rolls. Okay.
Yep, and all you got to do is just drag those out of the chat box, put them up there.
Wait.
Yeah, you can actually click on the each of the die on the chat box and just drag them up.
Oh, okay. Oh, I should put them up.
It's fine. I can move them up there.
Okay, cool.
I just think if I pull them out, I don't think you can actually then grab them. That one. So, yeah, you're 6, 6, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3. Okay, so you've got these. So yeah, so when he comes in, he's like, should have known you're going to wash out. So what you'll do is to start off, and you do like a bit of role playing, and you put forward one or more dice to meet the 4 that I put forward.
Wait. I put forward more dice.
No, so all these dice are up here right now. See where I put them?
Yes.
Okay,
Correct.
so what you're gonna do? He's raised the stakes from. So I had these down here. When you come in, he goes. I basically put 2 dice forward to raise to these are the stakes.
Okay.
We're gonna go. Should have known you'd wash out. Someone like you is never gonna be able to be a dog. And then you'll take one or more dice to meet that 4.
I see. I will take this 3 and this 2. Okay, I see.
Okay. And what do you say when he does that?
I'm not done yet. In fact, they think my prospects look quite nice.
Okay, so you basically, I'm not done yet, would be these 2. Then you pull 2 more forward. My prospects look quite nice. You're sort of elevating it. So then you no, that's what you're supposed to do. So
Okay.
you will then put 2 more dice forward. Now you set the stakes. Okay, so 8.
Okay.
So he'll go. So he'll do a thing called reversing the blow. He just puts 1 dice out there. Good prospects, hell. I don't think you got good, and then that's his meeting yours with 1 dice.
Okay.
If you meet with 1 dice, you then get to just put 1 die forward to be like we get to add 1 die to it, and you get to keep that one as opposed to losing it. Like these ones went away. Like
Okay.
those ones went over here because those are
Right.
done. You just add that to it, otherwise it would go away. So he meets yours with the 10. So these go over here. It's like hell. I don't think you're good enough to be a dog. So he puts 12 out.
Okay. 12. Oh shit. So I'm having to meet his 12 with the dice I have left.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay. So what do you say there?
Yeah. In fact, not only do my prospects look good, but I'm going to go out and bring more justice to this family and to the rest of the country, better than you ever did.
Now, the way this is going to work right now, you've taken 44 in Fallout because it's only talking right now.
Okay.
Because you had to have more than 2 dice to meet his, so you'll end up taking 44 in Fallout, which just make a note of 44.
Okay.
Now, you've essentially lost this unless you escalate or work in other like roll new relationships or equipment or something in.
Or shoot Grandpa with your guns.
Yes. Now, like physical means you essentially get in his face. It's more of like an intimidation type thing, but you're not fighting. If you go to you could go to punching, you could go to drawing guns and add in more dice. But at this point. At this point, this part of the argument, like just arguing it, you failed. If you want to try to to stop him, you would at this point need to escalate the conflict. Or you can determine that he didn't succeed in kind of overcoming his grandpa. So either one works.
And it is okay to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody else would have been on hand at the time. So nah, he just takes his beating and leaves with his tail between his legs.
Okay. So you do two things. Go ahead and roll 44.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you get a couple things here. You actually get exactly the same thing that happened to exactly the same thing that happened to Max. So if you look on the reference, I'm going to pop it up there, so that should pop up in front of you.
Okay.
Okay, you did two things. So your two highest are an 8, and you rolled a 1, which means on that list you get one thing automatically. You get a 1d6 trait that goes along with the fact that you did not succeed in kind of overcoming the abuse of your grandfather. So you'll have something that kind of goes with it. It might be a guilt. It might be like feeling like something has happened because you were not able to redeem yourself in his eyes or not give a shit about what he thought. So you'll get that, and then also you'll get one from the experience fallout and one from the short-term fallout.
Okay.
So
Can you clarify what that means? I was kind of confused.
Oh, I'm sorry, long-term fallout, because it's 8. Yeah, so one from long-term fallout and one from experience fallout. What was your question? What'd you ask, Max?
Just so, do we like pick one from this list, or is it all of them affect us?
No, just one from each of those lists. So you get the trait for your initiation, then you get one from experience fallout, one from long-term fallout. And give me a second. I'm going to use the bathroom real quick and grab a drink, and then we'll be back, and then we'll be able to get started in earnest.
Okay. Oh, damn it. Okay.
Okay, did you guys end up getting those?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on. I got the long-term fallout. And then you said the other one was experience fallout.
Yep. So a 1d6 trait from something that has to do with the fact that you weren't able to sort of overcome your grandpa on that. Then you get long-term fallout and experience fallout.
Okay.
And as you're kind of deciding that, I think we can. This one, if you want to wait a little, if you want to get that in a little bit of downtime, that's fine too. We can kind of get Tim involved here now that character creation is done, since he's been a part of this before.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so you guys end up making your way back to Bridal Falls. You go through the ceremony. Winter is starting to change over to spring. People are starting to get their assignments, and you two are assigned to. You're assigned to Brother Bobby Ray. Brother Bobby Ray, would you like to describe yourself?
Bobby Ray stands about 6'3". He's He's got kind of frilled edging on his coat. The coat starts dark blue, goes to midnight black. It's got these silver buttons on them that, if you look closely, look like they used to be coins of some kind. He's got a really big horse with a bad attitude, and he's got a. He's known to not be the most book savvy dog, I guess you would say, but he gets things done.
Your Uncle Jesse is with you, and he's been helping. He kind of smiles at you. Brother Barbary, I do believe you're going to have your hands full here.
I don't know how I keep getting these assignments with these youngins. It's like they're testing me every day, Jesse. Man. Well, I guess they only give you what you can handle, right?
Well, you got a touch. Andrew, Noble, have you come up with an idea for your name? Noble Bear?
Oh, Bill Jackson.
This is Brother John and Brother Bill. This is Brother Bobby Ray. He will be seeing you out on your first bit of rounds.
All right. Howdy, fellers. Looks like it's going to be a fairly easy trip, judging from what I've been told, but we know how that goes sometimes. So, yeah, he's pointing at Jack. Brother Jack, is it?
Yep.
So what's your story?
Oh, do you mean your...
Wait, who's Brother Jack?
I think was it your Uncle Jack?
No, it's Jesse.
Oh, Jesse, okay. Yeah, bro, you got Brother Bill or Brother John?
Oh, John?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry.
Wait,
Yeah,
I'm Brother John.
Jack, John, that's what I meant. Brother John, what's your story, feller?
Well, I guess I'm just a man who likes to take his chances. And I figured there ain't no better chances than being a dog. So
Uncle Jesse laughs, slaps you on the back, and go, "I'll catch you later. You have fun."
Yeah. Yeah. We've got some catching up to do after this, old man. All right. Looks like you got kind of playing cards on your. That's kind of nice. So
you wanna?
Don't bet him. Got it.
I was gonna ask you if you wanted to play a hand.
Well, I don't know about that.
The Lord is good to those who believe.
Yeah, I'll put that in my notes.
I don't like the sound of that.
Brother Bill, you look a little low. You doing okay, feller?
What was the question?
I said, are you doing okay, feller? You look a little low.
I'll be fine. Nothing I can't shrug off.
All right. All right. Well, we're wasting daylight, so let's head her up.
Hey, you guys gather up the mail and such you're supposed to take. You've got your consecrations of the consecrated earth and all of those things that are part of the faith. And the first couple towns, pretty normal, pretty straightforward. Go in, bless some babies, do some services, deliver the mail, see how things are going, check in with people, all the kind of normal things that a dog does. Stuff that you guys have been trained for and that Brother Bobby Ray either approves or disapproves, however he damn well pleases. You're on your way to Rosewood. Rosewood is actually it's sort of in a mountainous area in between kind of the regular land of the people and the territorial authorities and where they live. Also at a place that is sort of surrounded by the mountain folk. And the mountain people often get along with your people, but their ways are definitely sinful, evil ways, and there is a danger sometimes of being yoked to those who are not yoked as you are. So Rosewood usually is okay, but these are the kind of places where a little more outside influences can come into it. So you're up there kind of through the woods. Uh, on the way there, you notice you pass by what was maybe at one point um, probably a mountain person an outpost or a village or a small area that has been at some point in the not too distant past burnt down,
Oh wow.
which is never a good sign. Um, at that point, you probably loosen your weapons a little bit in their either in your holsters or if you got a rifle across the back, because that is something did that, and basically besides the mountain people and you guys, there's nothing else that'll burn something, particularly that doesn't burn like a big swath of forest. You make it into Rosewood. Rosewood's itself, medium-sized trading post, decent amount of people there. The shepherd there has actually been there for quite some time, or steward rather. Steward Phineas, about in his 50s, not a bad person, but he's been the steward there for a while. The town itself has got like a very basic fortification. You ride up to the gates.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, guy pokes his head up over. Who's there?
Dogs are here.
Oh, let him in! Let him in! And he kind of rushes down from his post to the gate opens. Comes out and says, "Hi, Brother Cyrus. Good to see you here."
Cyrus?
Yep.
Brother Bobby Ray? This is Brother John and Brother Bill.
Great.
Hello there.
Morning.
It's been a while since I've been here. Is the steward's house still that way?
Yeah. Kind of turns and points up to where the stewards are. It's like you came during difficult times, brothers, dogs. How do I? Never quite sure how to speak to you.
No worries.
Well, typically
down,
you use
breathe.
your tongue. It's all right.
Slow down, breathe, start from the beginning.
Well, there's a fire was set by Brother Malachi about a month past when the snows were bad. I saw it happen, and it was screams were inside there. He got exiled. He ran away to the mountain people, but he's still out there. But it's bad things happening.
Why'd he set this fire?
Breathe. It's okay. Breathe.
I don't know. I saw him, and I told Stuart Phineas we were supposed to, and that's he once they knew he ran. He fled. God help me, I wasn't able to help him. I heard both of them screaming inside there.
Who got burned?
Yeah, both of who?
Well, Sister Marilla and one of the guys from out there, David Starr. He's a survey. He was coming in through looking for gold and surveying areas. I don't know why he was in her house, but
I can guess.
it kind of blanches when you say that a bit.
Now, Brother John, don't be thinking ill of anybody dead just yet.
Have they been given proper? I don't. We're Mormons, right? So, well, have they been given proper Christian burials that their spirits may lay to rest proper? Hello?
Did you hear that, or was? Oh, I'm sorry. I sneezed for a second. I thought I ended it. Sister Marilla was buried with full honors by the steward.
Okay.
David Starr was buried outside the walls.
Okay.
Did nobody go after this here, Brother Malachi?
Well, I mean, we've looked a bit, but he's got the mountain folk right now, and well,
How many?
the mountain folk, 50. I know that we had a couple people. I think Brother Hiram went after him, and I mean, puts a torch and outpost not terribly far up there, but I mean, we don't quite know exactly how many of them are around here.
All right. So, and how long ago was it that he took off after having set this fire?
And the next day, I went and told Stuart Phineas, and when he went to him, he fled. Malachi was escaped, took a horse, went out to the mountain people.
Okay, so he's on a horse. About how long ago was this?
About a month ago.
Okay. On one hand, if he had a horse, and he could be quite a ways from here, but on the other hand, I don't imagine there's too many places that he'd have to go. Do you know if he had relations or friends up in the hills anywhere?
He got along with the mountain folk decently. I mean, a lot of us knew some of them, and I didn't so much. But they come here and trade, and I mean, Hiram said that, or Hiram rather said that he saw him with the mountain folk. I mean, that's where I would probably go and hide if I was a murderer.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Well,
Oh, did anybody else want to ask questions of this gentleman?
What's going on here in the village in the meantime?
Well, people are real nervous. We're not quite sure. We gone out and tried to get him, but I don't know if there's going to be some sort of response. So we've been trying to keep ourselves inside the walls as much as possible.
What are these mountain people? Are they like Indians or something, or what?
Mountain people are going to be. You have a lot of natives and such. You also have what was not unusual at the time, oddly enough, was to have sort of Americans go native. If you ever read like the People's History of the United States, there actually was a lot of that going on. So it's a mix of people who've gone native, and there's going to be some prospectors, some other peoples there, along with some of the native folks.
But they live communally. They're not just doing their own thing.
I noticed. I was just gonna go ahead and finish answering.
Oh, I'm saying for the most part, relations aren't bad. They're considered because they are. They're not good simply because they don't follow the king of life, but they're usually fairly peaceful when it comes to your people, and they're actually very good for trading here and there, depending especially if you're on the outskirts of the physical area where people live. So they're one of those things that even those who look down on them realize that there's a use.
All right.
All right. Looking around the trade post, I recognized my friend, the traveling merchant McGee. Mm-hmm. This would be an appropriate time to evoke one of your relationships, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Just make a note that he's in Rosewood, at least currently in Rosewood.
Okay. Okay. I'll go have a chat with McGee.
Okay. All right.
Hey, friend. Hey, friend.
Oh, look at you! You got one of the coats. My friend, it's good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
So you're what do you call what you are?
I'm a dog, sir.
Dog. Sounds right for you. How's it suiting you?
It suits me very well. The Brotherhood has treated me very well, and my new raiments fit quite nicely, I must say. How's trading been?
Be better here if I had some weapons. They're a little worried around these parts, and I got to tell you, I'm not much liking the look that you got in Stuart Phineas's eyes. That's a man ready for war between himself and the mountain folk, and that's not a place I want to be.
No. Have you perchance crossed paths with the mountain folk or done any business with them?
Always. Not around here, though. They've been a little more cagey than normal. Some up north that I traded with, but around here, I haven't sought them out yet, but once I came to Rosewood and found out how things are going, I'm trying to keep myself away from them as much as possible.
Of course, of course. All right. Got anything special on sale, or any advice you have for me?
Oh, lots of stuff. You had a chamber pot.
Excellent.
You got a normal.
Go ahead.
You guys are pretty well taken care of. Unlike most role playing games, when you're working for an organization with lots of money and trying to protect people, they kind of let you take what you need. Yeah, he's got his normal sort of wares and stuff. If there's anything you thought of, you'd be able to probably find.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
All right. Well, it's good to see you again, old friend, and I'd take care. Probably our next step is to head up into the hills and see what we can find. So
good luck to you.
Yeah, you may want to find your way well clear of whatever ill fate is approaching.
That'll be the plan. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
So I ride up, and I'm like, I don't know what they teach you new fellers, but you guys sure do like to talk a lot. Let's go see what the steward has to say real quick before we running up no hills.
All right. Now, what's the difference between a steward and a shepherd?
Shepherd is when I screwed up and said shepherd instead of steward.
Oh, okay.
so nothing.
But I mean, is that like a pastor? Is that like
a steward is sort of a mix of pastor and mayor.
Okay.
They're the ones who are sort of. I mean, you guys are above them.
Okay.
Like basically, it defaults to dogs, but you guys are the ones who are above them and what they do. The stewards themselves basically do all the stuff in the interim if you guys aren't able to be there, simply because dogs are travelers.
Right. Okay.
So what else is around this outpost? Anything we noticed?
Outpost itself, I mean, looks fairly normal. I mean, people seem a little edgier, though you've been sort of told why. Phineas has they've actually they've done some work on his house recently. It looks it's a bit bigger than last time you were here, Brother Bobby. Stuff looks nice, but I mean, for the most part, the Rosewood itself seems pretty normal, except for the fact that people are on edge.
Right. I'd like to get a closer look at the fire damage.
For that, you'd have to go back out to the outpost. That's
okay.
Further before, because the fire damage is not the fire damage is not in Rosewood. It's in the something you passed that was a mountain person outpost. And a lot of times those are like for traders, because like when the traders like your friend comes through, it's good to actually be able to find them, because the mountain people are a little bit nomadic but also live a little out of the way, but they do know the use of trading, so. They won't be out there all the time, but it would not be unusual for a traveling merchant to basically hang out in an outpost for a day, and at some point during that day, someone's going to come and check on the standard sort of like routes or hunting in those cases and come by, or he can like set a fire to let them know, someone's here, like a signal fire, and they'll come out to him and he can do some trading.
Okay. So the fire that was set then, that wasn't it wasn't like it was set to like a residential home or something. It was.
No, it was basically just to an outpost that would be used by the mountain people.
Okay.
So essentially, it's like a mini trading outpost.
Okay. Okay. And then the whole place then was raised. So, okay. For some reason, I had this weird image in my head of like this cabin of sorts, or single family dwelling or something.
It's like pretty small, but it was basically a place of business as opposed to someone could stay there, but it wasn't a home.
Okay, I see.
Do you guys want to check in on Brother Phineas, or do you want to just go look for Brother Malachi?
I think we need to talk to the steward. If nothing else, we got to drop off this mail.
Okay.
That's right.
almost as soon as you get to the steward Phineas's house, door opens and his wife answers. And I gotta say, Brother Bobby Ray, you been here before?
Yeah, once a while
Okay.
ago.
It's been a while since you've been here, but she definitely would have been too young to be his wife last time you were here. But you see a ring on her finger, and she's answering the door like this is her place. Probably about 22 years old. She kind of looks at you. She goes, "Oh," and she kind of curtsies. "I'm Sister Theodosia. I'm Stuart Phineas's wife. How may I help you?"
Yeah, ma'am. I take off my hat. We're dogs here to deliver some mail and talk to the good steward and see how things are in Rosewood.
Oh, certainly.
People are a mite sketchy, jumpy, I would say.
Oh, it's been well. Have you heard about Malachi and the murders?
Nah, I've heard a couple things, but I'd like to see what the steward has to say, if you don't mind.
Oh, okay. Yeah, please, come in. Althea Lavinia, and you see Sister Lavinia is probably close to 50, or Sister Althea is maybe early 40s. Come out. These appear to be his 3 wives.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of help grab your stuff and set it aside. And would any of you be requiring food or drink? I'll get my husband.
A glass of water might be a right appreciated.
Excellent. Gentlemen? Brothers?
I'm well, thank you.
Yeah, I'll take that water.
Okay.
Thank you.
She goes off, and then Althea, the younger one, well, the middle of the 3, heads in and shortly brings out Stuart Phineas. Welcome! As he comes out, he opens up his arms to you for an embrace. You can see it's a bit strained, but of course the dogs are here and he's got some difficulties going on in town. Please welcome. Please be seated. Have my wives offered you something to drink or to eat?
They were very hospitality like. Yes.
It's your timing is fortuitous. Please sit. I'm sure you have questions.
Yeah,
Well,
tell me about the outpost out there.
The outpost. Brother Hiram took a party to burn it. The mountain people as of late have become more rebellious. We have a member of our Brother Malachi was exiled after the apparent murder of both an outsider, one of a surveyor from the territories, as well as Sister Marilla. He was exiled and has been with them, as far as we know, and things have not been good since he fled.
Is there a reason that you saw exile as an appropriate response to an act of murder?
A single eyewitness, Brother Malachi, claimed that it was... Brother Malachi claimed that he didn't set it, that it was an accident. If it did happen, that he was nowhere near it. Accused Brother Cyrus of being perhaps the one that said it. However, Brother Cyrus is a simple man. He swore upon the King of Life that he saw Brother Malachi do this thing. Brother Malachi unable to confess, exile seemed to be the best way.
Does Brother Malachi have any family still in Rosewood?
Brother Malachi, his wife died in childbirth along with a child about 2 years ago. Since then, he's not taken another. He's would often go out into the woods hunting. He would bring back deer, often a good amount of food. Came quite close with them, and I think was in many ways tempted by the mountain people and their ways.
Well, if you exiled him, wouldn't that just have been the end of it?
Well, I wouldn't say with the mountain people. We've seen them with their scents. Um, some of our hunting parties have been attacked is not the quite word, but harassed.
Hmm. And you suspect Malachi is stirring it up.
Yes.
All right. Well, ain't nobody gonna win if you and them start trading blows. Maybe a more diplomatic like discussion might be had. That's why I brought these two gents.
To talk with the mountain folk?
Well, might as well start talking before you start shooting.
Okay, he looks over at Theodosia. Go get Brother Hiram. No, these are not people you can speak to. I don't know what the mountain folk are like in other places, Brother Bobby Ray. I've not been in those places. I know what they're like here, and Malachi has been in cancer on them. I'm sorry, I don't trust what they say. I don't trust what they do.
I appreciate that. At the same time, it is the province of us, the dogs, to then, if they need to be dealt with, to do so, and to handle them in a just fashion.
It is, of course, your prerogative to do what you wish, but I would ask if you would at least let us send some men with you as backup in case their treachery is made manifest.
Brother Phineas, I can't help but notice that you seem to be doing some construction on your house.
Yes, it's seemed a good time to build on recently, and it was before these problems came. But yeah, it has unfortunately stopped a bit since then.
Now, why is that?
I've had other things to deal with, the mountain people, Brother Malachi's treachery. Fortunately, the amount of time it takes to build, as well as to hire people to do so, is more difficult in times like that.
Now, how do you think the rest of this here population feels about you expanding your house in a time of grief like this?
He bristles a little bit at that. You seem young. You've been a dog for long?
Only recently.
I believe that your mentor here, Brother Bobby Ray, can let you know that one of the things about being a steward is occasionally there's a little bit of respect that goes along with it. That we've earned perhaps a bit nicer quarters. I've been steward here for more than 30 years.
Now, don't take offense, sir. I couldn't help but notice you have one new bride of the line, too. I can't help but think that must require some sort of expansion on your part.
And some of you will know that having one wife is not a big deal. A second wife, even like around 30 or 35 or so, is not unusual. Third wives are granted much more rarely. Yes, I do have quite a wonderful new wife, and that's one of the reasons we want to expand, but also it makes it easier to have a place to meet with people here where they can be more comfortable.
Do you frequently have gatherings inside your home?
Yes, I often see members of my flock.
Did Brother Malachi come to those gatherings?
Of course. Okay, so do you want to move this to? It seems like you're kind of moving to a conflict to try to catch him out.
I'm just teasing him a little bit.
Right, well, I'm saying, do you want to move this to sort of a conflict? It seems like you're trying to get some stuff out from him that maybe he doesn't want to give.
Yeah, I guess so, but I don't really know how to go about that because I don't know what I'm looking for.
Okay, well, that's part of what you want to do.
Yeah.
So what you do is start with a cutie plus heart plus anything you think that will that would kind of help in the situation. And as if it's one of those things where like what you did when you sort of showed your revolvers during the game. Right. That's one of those things where I'm not using my revolvers now, but wait a minute, fictionally, I've now shown my revolvers. They have now come into it. Like you're not able to roll those things again, but what they are able to do is work other dice in as necessary.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was trying to go, where just go in hard, just kind of shake the tree and see what falls out. Where it's like, oh, we exiled him. Oh, just exile, even though it killed 2 people.
Right.
It's kind of, I don't know.
How do you
guys want to play this?
Yeah. I'd be down to question him a little more thoroughly, but I imagine that Brother Billy is gonna either interject against or encourage
Well,
the line of questioning.
the way that if more than one person gets involved, what happens is it's essentially like everyone has to meet something that he would put forth, but then you're able to sort of put forth stuff on your own. So I mean, it is useful sometimes to have more than one person involved. So like if you started it and someone else decided to get involved, that's definitely a possibility.
So okay, yeah, I guess I'll initiate more. Let me think about what kind of question I'll
Okay.
ask. Um,
Yeah.
should I phrase it in the form of a
No, I
question?
mean, I think it sounds like
he's
right now
asking,
you're digging.
I had my chance at questions, so while Max is asking his questions, I'm looking at the women. I mean, are the women in the room at all?
Right now, he had just sent out Sister Theodosia to go find Brother Hiram. Sister Lavinia and Althea have brought you guys your waters and are like now in the corners of the room.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna roll to casually observe the women to see how they're responding to the questions.
Well, for right
or
now,
how they're acting in general.
let's go ahead and work that in as Max is doing his, since he's getting involved with him first. So as of yet, there hasn't necessarily been a lot there.
Sorry.
Yeah, you'll be able to kind of bring that in, but
Okay. Cool.
so Max, what you want to do is you want to roll what you got.
Yeah, so I guess I would roll. I'm a dog because that probably carries some weight here, right?
Yep. So your acuity plus your heart plus anything else that fits into that.
Right. Confidence. Because I'm making a gamble.
Oh, true. You are.
Let's just see how that does. All right.
Now, how did you grab them all before? Did you like?
All you got to do is basically just go up there and grab. Or wait, when they're on the table, or when I'm pulling them from the chat.
It was from the chat.
Oh, from the chat, you literally just go up and click on the individual dice.
Yeah, just click and drag.
I wish you could actually grab a bunch.
That's how I did it.
Because I don't think you can grab them all at once, which would be awesome. Because yeah, it'll just bring out one in that case. Because yeah, it's definitely one where if you could just grab them all, it would be so much nicer. Particularly for most games, it probably you don't need it, but in a game like this, it's useful.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So do I put 2 dice forward, or however many I want?
Yep. So you'll say like kind of like one of the things you're doing is sort of probe and put 2 dice forward.
Right. So I'll be like, I don't mean no disrespect here, Brother Phineas, but in my past life as a sinner, I was a gambling man, and I do have a sense of when things are being hidden. I am wondering if perhaps you feel that your recent actions, including your marriage to this beautiful young lady and the growth of this fine homestead, had anything to do with Brother Malachi's actions. Perhaps they were influenced by some sort of jealousy. I'll raise out there.
So 9.
Yeah. Is that like an aggressive roll? I mean.
Well, no, because the thing is what you're going to see, because since all the dice are there, if you put the 4 and like a 4 out there, like I could meet that with 1, but right now he's unable to meet that with a single die.
Right.
Like that sort of gamemanship is good.
Okay, cool.
So, jealousy. I'm sorry, but you are young and you are new to this, and I don't think you quite understand this. So at this point, he's met with the 9 to your 9. So these essentially go over here. You are new and you don't quite understand this. However, I've been the steward here for 30 years. The fact that I've got a new wife is not a bad thing, and you'll have to admit that it's easy to be fairly nervous when the dogs come in with this amount of problem, because I do enjoy the fact of what I do, and I think I am good at it. Unfortunately, you have reached us in quite trying times, so if I'm a bit nervous, it's only simply because I value what I do and dislike the fact that it's been so difficult recently because of evil that's come into our midst. So the first one was him meeting,
Right.
and now he's put forward his 11.
Okay.
And if someone else jumps in, let me know.
I'm I'm just sitting back and watching.
I guess I will, cause yeah. I'll jump in.
Okay.
So what should I be rolling then?
Okay, so what you do is whatever works for your. Sorry, Max. I just moved some meters over.
No, that's good.
Yeah. So you'll make your roll, and then you'll go ahead and put them up on the put them up here. Since they got the different colors, it'll be easy to kind of tell whose is who. Now, what'll happen is because you got two people working, anything he puts out, you both will have to meet. Anything either of you put out, he has to meet. Like Max does not have to meet something that you put out, and vice versa.
Right.
So it's helpful. It doesn't necessarily guarantee a win, but it helps.
But we can combine.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Well, no, the thing is, like one person will come forward, basically like Nobleberry, like brother Jack. Yeah, brother Bill might come forward and be like, "Here's my thing." You don't have to put dice out for that because it only affects him.
Right.
His response could affect you both depending on how it's being done, or it might just affect him. So essentially, you can kind of do the two different people on either side, knocking him back and forth a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And 1. All right. I go back to chat. Back to what is
Max, you know Molly is up in Chicago now.
Molly, who?
Vineyard?
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. When did she come up there?
Like really recently. She moved from New York and she's up in Chicago. She just liked the picture they took on Abe Furman recently.
Oh, word. Awesome. So he just basically came back with you're young, you don't know shit, and 2, I deserve this because I'm respected in the community, and I'm nervous because dogs are scary.
None of which is wrong.
Yeah, no, none of which is wrong.
Yeah.
All right. Are you gonna jump in, Noble, or do you want me to at least address this initially?
Yeah, go ahead and address this, and we'll see where it goes.
All right. So I look Brother Phineas in the eye and I say, "Now, good sir, I did not mean any offense by my comments. It is truly a righteous man who has the fear of God in his hearts, and as we are the Word of God, you are right to be fearful. It's only my wish to help address the issues that are facing this community, and hopefully resolve a problem. And in order to do that, we need as much information as possible."
Okay, so that sounds it was both. That was sort of both your meet as well as your raise. So
Yeah.
you met it with the 11. So those both go to the side.
Right.
And then you put your 2 to raise. So those 2 go.
What he's got? What's he got? All right.
Okay. And what was the last thing you said?
Oh, I just said that we need as much. I mean, we're here to do. We are the Word of God, and we are here to do our job. And in order to do God's work, we need as much information as possible.
And as I've told you, Brother Malachi is now with the mountain people, and because I was unable to ascertain whether it was truly him or not, exiling seemed the best bet. Now, I realize.
Oh, go ahead.
He'll raise, and then if you want to interrupt. Now, I realize you are here with Brother Baba Ray, who has a lot more experience, and he might understand let's say, the difficulties of running a place like this a little bit better than you guys will. But I'm willing to help you, give you people. I want to protect you and make sure that you are in no danger when it comes to the mountain people. They are dangerous.
Now, I'd like to ask you about Brother Malachi. That he was a man for...
I'll say that 6 and the 4 doesn't, yeah. Oh, you get 3? Okay.
I was
So it's fine to put 3. It just means you're going to take 3d4 of Fallout. Which said, Fallout's not necessarily a bad thing. Particularly when it's this kind of Fallout usually ends up being experience. You two just happen to roll 8s, which give you long-term Fallout. Normally it's short-term with conversation.
Okay.
And to be honest, the chances of Stuart Phineas, a 50-year-old man, bringing it up above conversation is kind of low.
That's them kick his ass.
Malachi, as has been said, was a simple man. Simple men operate in simple means, and usually if they have an intent, it's not hard to read. I'm wondering what signs he might have presented before engaging in this monstrous act.
Okay. So what you want to do? So you've met it. So you want to make a note of your 3d4, and now put forth 2 dice. I will say this: I'm almost positive I said it correctly, but Brother Cyrus is simple. They never said Brother Malachi was simple.
Oh, my apologies.
I'm pretty sure I said that. I don't know if you're misremembering.
I could be screwing it up too, so I apologize. Well, I guess okay. Well, then let me change my tack up a bit. Then.
So just when you whatever you put forth, just then put forward 2 dice as you give your argument, and then he'll have to respond.
Okay. You as Stuart would know the people here. You as Stuart know the people here better than anyone. People don't engage in gross behaviors like this for no reason at all. What signs or tells did Brother Malachi show prior to this monstrous act?
Okay, so you want to put forth your 2 dice?
Okay, so put forth 2 dice.
So 9. What signs did Brother Malachi show? You may know, dog, that the ways of evil and demons are subtle. He seemed like he was normal, like anybody else. So he's met you with that. So those will go away, and then he's going to raise his, and this will be for both of you.
Okay.
He puts forward this. Now I know you two are both inexperienced, and again, Brother Baba Ray will explain. There's many things I looked for, but the devil often comes looking like your friend and the greatest thing you've ever seen. He does not seem like he is an enemy. And I believe Brother Malachi was not only a good man who followed the King of Life, I thought he was someone who was able to navigate the dangers of working with the mountain folk better than he did. So both of you will have to meet his 12.
Okay.
Now, Brother Baba Ray, while he has been referenced, has not yet been brought into the conflict in any way.
I honestly, I'm just sitting back and letting the young dogs go at it because they got to get it in their system.
Yep.
And I'm kind of cursing to myself. It's like, when did I become the sensible, calm one? This sucks. I must be getting old.
All right, so we both got to meet this. So what? I'll take a little fallout if I need it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Ah, shit. Yeah. Now we need to meet it individually or meet it combined?
No, individually you have to meet it.
Okay.
That, and if they look back and look like they're looking for help, I'll sigh and then I'll help. I want to see what they do.
Okay.
All right, so he just said that Malachi fell to the temptation of the mountain people, basically.
Yeah, and that effectively, the devil comes looking like your best friend, not like someone who is evil. Unfortunately, Brother Malachi who seemed fine, upstanding member of our town was someone who was drawn in by the mountain people in a way he could not have considered before would have been possible.
I'm still baffled that either he was a man who was himself of ill intent, in which case exiling would not have been an appropriate punishment, or he was a man who was not of his own senses, but of the devil's, in which case, why not have him exercised and appropriately restrained so that the devil's influencing him could be, contained and abolished.
So is it this you putting forth your last two twos?
Yeah, this is
okay.
it. Just the whole last of everything here.
So you want to put those forward?
Yeah, just get them all out there.
Okay. Now, yeah, Max doesn't have to meet that because that's you. He puts his forward to meet. I'll admit, part of me was hoping on the better nature that Malachi himself was not guilty, because it seemed like it was strange. But the fact that he's carried on with the mountain people the way in which he has broken my heart. And I may have thought wrong about him and what he was capable of. But I looked for mercy, and I was hoping that the King of Life would not let down this person who was a good friend to me at one time. He puts down a 4, which neither of you have the dice to beat.
No.
So either at this point you can escalate to, like, basically this is probably all you're going to get out of him. You can either escalate, or unless Brother Bobby Ray gets in, I realize this might be the most at this moment. At least you're going to get out of him.
So if I use it too, can I still use that to try to bring Bobby Ray into this, or what?
Bobby Ray could bring himself in if he wants, but
okay.
yeah, because your thing here is neither of you are able to meet here unless you escalate to either physical, or you bring in some other dice by other traits or equipment or something.
I mean, like I said, I'm more than happy to, but you guys gotta role play
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna.
And one thing to think of, it's something that you'd be able to come back to him later on to see if there's more stuff there. There may have been things here that will help in the future.
Yeah, I shot my wad on this conversation, so I'm tapping out for the time being.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm gonna look Brother Phineas in the eye, and I guess I've already removed my hat, but I'll tip my head too and say, again, Mr. Brother Phineas, we meant no disrespect towards the steward of this community, and we're only trying to solve the issue that's at hand here. Perhaps our elder and mentor, Brother Billy, might have some more carefulness and consideration in choosing his words when asking you to get to the bottom of this mystery. So that's kind of my and I'm gonna eye up Brother Billy at this point, kind of pleading him for help with my eyes.
Well, Brother Billy was my brother. He died. He was about 12. The rattlesnake bite. It was terrible. Mama cried for days.
Brother Bobby, Max, my bad.
Okay, what is it? Michael, do you want me to roll or just nuke them? Because I'm gonna have a lot of dice.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to roll it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it's a cutie plus
heart.
Heart. Oh. Okay, so that's 8d6.
Brother Billy Ray's experience will let him know the next thing that happens is probably, at least he'll probably get a feeling about this, because demonic influence can be brought in at times. That doesn't necessarily mean he was a part of it. It just means it's something that is part of the town itself. And if there's been hate or murder, there tends to be quite a bit of demonic influence. As a matter of fact, if you look up the book, 5d10 demonic influence happens if you've seen hate or murder, and demons can kind of bring themselves in as necessary.
I think that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I'm not bringing the full fucking gavel, but we're gonna do heart or cutie and heart, which is 8d6. We're gonna pull in faith from the hip, which is 2d10, and ain't my first rodeo 2d4. So that's what I'm rolling.
Okay.
What did you just roll, Michael?
In this case, Bobby Ray would have a better idea about this. This sort of demonic influence. Give me a second. I'm going to use the bathroom real quick while he drags some of those out. And I'm going to also double check in a little bit with the Roll20 forum, see if it's possible to just grab all of them.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, well, this has been fun so far. This is my first time with Dogs in the Vineyard, and it's cool to see how the conflict mechanics are playing out.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, this is obnoxious. Bringing these dice over.
Yeah, one at a time.
Well, and I don't have a mouse. I'm using a pad.
Fuck.
This is terrible.
Yeah. I feel like in our conversation right now with this guy, I feel like the question is, who is this surveyor? Because he doesn't seem to really have much. I mean.
So I'd like to just review the basic facts again, just to make sure that I'm not confused. Because we came up to the outpost. It had been burned to the ground. There were at the time. This happened a month ago. At the time there were 2 civilians inside. Were one or both of them from Rosewood, or
one of
were
them
they
was a member of our religious cult.
Okay.
No, whether they're both from Rosewood, I think the other one was he said a surveyor, so I'm assuming a visitor from outside.
Okay. And then the other one was.
The other one was a woman who was married to Brother Malachi. Was that what the issue was?
I'm sorry, I'm moving dice. What was the question? Hit me again. I'll tell you.
Just the exact circumstances.
Who were the people that were burned?
Because I've got a relationship. Sister Marilla and David Starr was the surveyor.
Right.
They were the ones that got burned.
And now Sister Marilla was Brother Malachi's wife, or did I just...
Nothing.
No, she died in childbirth about a year before.
Brother Malachi...
that's right. He's alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Wow, he rolled really good. That's not happy.
Because
we'll see what age to the table after all.
So there's a guy who burns down an entire outpost, either because he's just a firebug and just felt like doing it.
I will say, you guys, I mean, without having to roll on this, I'll tell you, it's not unusual. Like, if they're having problems with the village people, if they're looking at maybe if there's been some raids or something, getting rid of that outpost may have been... Like, you were told earlier that Brother Hiram went out and burned the outpost.
Okay.
Now, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Finish what you were thinking.
Well, I'm just like okay, so it becomes necessary then to burn the outpost. Why are you setting fire to a structure with people inside? Unless because I mean, even as a punishment, that doesn't make sense. Because if you're going to set somebody on fire, you set it up special where you tie them to a stake, you light them the fuck on fire. You're not just going to say, hey, you wait here, and then we'll just burn the building down around you.
I thought it was that Brother Malachi burned down a house with Sister whatever and John Starr.
That's what you've been told, yes.
And then he went to the mountain people, and then in retaliation, Brother Hiram burned down this training outpost that they had built for the mountain people. So there were 2 separate fires we were talking about earlier, like a single family cabin residence was burned down.
Yeah, and then one the outpost that's outside on the way in.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys good, or?
Yeah, I'm caught up. I'm excited to see where Brother Bobby Ray takes us with his wisdom and experience.
Pretty terrible.
Okay. So there was a cabin and there were people in it.
Right. There were 2 separate fires.
Okay, and then in response to the cabin fire, they went and burned down the outpost.
Right.
Okay. And the cabin itself that was set on fire, this would have happened inside of Rosewood, correct?
Yeah, the one where David Starr and Sister Marilla were killed was in Rosewood itself. The outpost is on the way in. That's when you pass before you actually got to Rosewood.
Okay. I see. Okay. And the person who was exiled, Malachi, he's the one who set the fire, or
The first fire, allegedly. Brother Cyrus.
allegedly? Right.
Oh, also, yeah, I meant to know. All of the space, you guys, if you want to make notes, like, feel free. Or you can either do it like by hand, or if you want to put it on somewhere on this sheet or on the main page, you're able to make notes.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is one of those games where notes can be useful.
Yes. Or relationship trees.
Yes.
Oh my god. Well, Stuart Phineas, I might appreciate the fact that you'd be pointing out that the dogs here are youngins and a little wet behind the ears, and that has escaped my notice. I did not see that. Thank you for pointing it out. But in retrospect, did you have a point? I certainly didn't see that fine young wife of yours last time I was here, and you know, God's gifts are good, and look, we ain't here to start any and throw any stones on anybody's stewardship. We just need to know all the facts, and that's basically what they're getting at in a real roundabout kind of way.
I don't know what my wife has anything to do with this. If you wish to discuss the fact that I've taken a third wife, I have given much service to these people in this area. We can absolutely discuss that, but I'm giving you, so that says 12 to meet your 12.
Mm-hmm.
But I am giving you all of the facts, and then he puts 14 forward. I'm giving you all the facts that I'm currently aware of. If there's other things you wish to know, please ask me, but right now, I'm not entirely sure what else I can tell you.
No, let's do this. There, that's awesome. Well, you know, things in the community, you know, you find out all the facts. You go on a fact-finding mission. That's what we're after.
Sounds like George Bush. I love it.
Okay, make a note. You will take 44 of Fallout for that.
Sweet.
How do you tally up the Fallout? Because I think I got some. We each got some there too, didn't we?
I think Noble Bear got like 44 on there, because it's only if you have to play more than 2 dice to meet.
I had to play 1 extra dice at one point, so that's a
So
1d4.
No, it would then be 3d4, because right now it hasn't escalated.
Okay.
So
wait for it.
Yeah, so I'm sorry. What was your what was
my counter?
Yep.
My counter was sometimes it helps to know all the facts, even if they don't look related at the time. And let's see what I'm going to counter with here. Well, let's do that, because that's fun. Big bad man with his 10 left. Yeah, take this. You're the steward of this town, and you are the one that knows your flock the best. So, Brother Bill pointed it out that we think maybe if you think hard enough and you search back in your recollection, maybe there were some clues that either Malachi was troubled, or, as you say, the devil had shown himself.
In this case, he actually escalates as he gets up and gets right in your face.
Yeah.
Very strong, very powerful.
Oh.
If you have come here to call me a liar, if you think that there's things I'm keeping from you, just say it outright.
Oh.
I have told you what it is that I know. As I said, he's physically in your face now. I've told you the things that I know.
When he gets up and starts getting in his face, no, I cannot sit still for that. I am going to stand up and be right there between him and Billy Ray there.
Anybody who, at this point, in escalating, like he'd already rolled his heart, so we got to roll his body along with it, and then plus with some traits that he had, like an iron will, as he got up. So I got to roll his body. So if you want to join the escalation, you're able to roll body and then any traits that work. Or unless you want to go straight to like punching him, in which case you get to roll body and will.
Well, I'm not gonna punch him yet, but damn if I'm not gonna let him get away with getting up in the face of one of my brothers here.
I will. I'm gathering a pool now, just so you know.
Okay, so Will doesn't. Okay, so yeah. So hold on. Let me switch that back down, and then let me figure out how many dice this is going to be.
Well, I'd like this before as he's doing that. I've been kind of leaning back, kind of talking, and I actually stand, straight. So I'm tapping big damn sumbitch, and body and prideful, and what else can I throw at this guy? Because now he's made me mad. My crappy old book. There we go. Now I'm ready.
8 and then 1.
Yes. So as I recall, those 6s are gone, right?
Yeah, those are gone.
Okay.
Sorry.
This massive dice, I'm going to go ahead and delete.
Thank you.
There's a shit ton of them.
Okay, so.
That's what I got.
Yeah, I'm going to check the forums again and see. They did ask if there's a way just to drag all of them, because that would be nice.
Okay. So he is presenting with that. Okay, just so I can see. I will then.
Okay, what's all this dice on the side here?
I think those are noble bears.
Okay, what's these other ones?
The dice I rolled are on the upper left there.
What's the ones on the upper right?
I don't know.
Are those yours?
Oh, I still had some left? Oh,
Yeah, I think
okay,
so.
sweet. Oh, I just got uppity and wanted more dice. Okay, now I understand what I'm doing.
Well, because
I'm good.
He has an 8, so you'd have to put forth a decent chunk of yours to meet his. So you'll both have to meet that 8. But, of course, you're adding some dice in there.
Okay. I've dropped in my dice, and so when he starts in with, when he starts in with, look, I have answered your questions and blah blah blah, and all of this, I get up, I stand right between them, looking dead in the eye, and say, we are doing our job. We have final say here, and we take that responsibility very seriously, sir. You would do well to recognize that.
Stuart Phineas, I appreciate that everybody is a little tense and on edge. Fires will do that. But I'd like to remind you of your place. Dogs are the law. The stewards are the stewards of the community and will enforce law only when we are not here. And last time I checked, we're standing right here. So we need information so that we can make the determination on what we need to do.
I will say,
You will dispense with that information.
I will say, since he joined on that one to kind of rate, I'll let. So what will happen is, go ahead. You've all met these. I'll let Noble Bear start since he got involved in that. To go ahead and put your dice forward. Because you might actually not actually need it. Because actually, what Noble Bear says is going to set him off in an interesting way. So Noble Bear, you'll put 2 of yours forward.
Okay.
Okay. Do you remember what the last bit you said? Because it actually fit really well into with his implosion.
Oh, okay.
Was it doing your job?
Yeah, something about us doing our job.
Okay. So yeah. So at this part, are you you're standing up and getting right in his face?
When he gets up and he starts just physically just coming in on Billy Ray there, that I stand up and I stand right between them and look him dead in the eyes. So right about that point when in his forward motion, we should be standing just about shoulder to shoulder.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So at that point, you kind of get right in. It's like, your job. Let me tell you about my job. You know what I do? I take what I want because these worms would be dead if it wasn't for me. I'm the reason they're alive. So yes, I've done some things. Now you can get out of my house, or you can leave this shit where it is. And there's a moment where you see him sort of realize, and he kind of steps back and then sinks into the chair he was sitting in. So he is done because he is not going to take it to a physical thing. He is done beat.
Okay.
What do you guys do?
All right. Are you guys want to follow up, or I mean, where you at?
Noble Bear kind of finished him off. I'll let him kind of
I was
lead
gonna
this.
say, yeah.
All right. I guess I should move the stuff from the last thing I did. Move that over.
Oh, at this point, the conflict's over. He's lost.
Oh, okay. Okay. So should I stop moving my dice then?
Yeah, there's no reason.
Okay. All right.
That doesn't necessarily help. Yeah, because basically he's had the explosion and realized that he's done beat.
Okay. So you want to tell us about what you've done?
It just kind of breathes up a bit. And I have taken a wife, perhaps sooner than I should have. And I own this town. This town is mine. I've kept it, and if I have abused that station with the wives of some of the people that live here, then it's only because I've helped keep them alive in difficult times.
Of whom much is given, much is required. You want to tell me why you fail to keep people safe within your own walls?
People within my walls are safe. Malachi, at this point, his jaw sort of sets. Malachi was a problem, so I removed him.
Why? Did he get in your way?
Kind of looks at you. And, yes.
Oh man.
Well, I think we need to talk to a few people, Stuart Phineas. Man, when you break out the honesty, you bring a full set. I am confounded and astonished. But I've been known to know a couple prideful people, so that ain't too much to surprise me anymore, I guess.
Well, I might interject briefly and ask, how exactly did Mr. Malachi get in your way, Brother Malachi?
He sort of looks at you and... You want to find that out? You find him. See if you can take him alive. I'm done here.
More prophetic words have almost never been spoken. I do believe, dogs, it is time to leave this house. Ladies might appreciate the water. We will be seeking other means of staying in the town, but we appreciate the blankets nonetheless.
Did you cough into them? Not that we're sick.
No, I just take one. I don't care. I'm a jerk. Right off where they're sitting. Yep. And I leave.
Hey, you see his three wives kind of rush around him as it happens, and the youngest one, Sister Theodosia, is dragging Brother Hiram with her. There's
one of the men I want to talk to, probably.
Hi, I'm Brother Hiram. I was asked to come with the steward.
Well, you need to talk to us, son, but not here. The brothers had a terrible case of the truce, and we need to talk to you privately.
The truth is awful.
Occasionally.
He seems kind of confused.
Good.
Certainly.
Are we still in the house, or?
It sounds like you guys are leaving. Are you leaving, or?
Yeah, we're all stepping outside.
Okay.
I'd actually before we talk with Hiram, Brother Bobby Ray, he's basically the man in charge of our unit. Is that how I understand this?
Is what? I'm sorry?
Is Bobby Ray the head of our unit? Or
technically, you're all sort of equal. It's just he's more experienced, and also since he's played the game more.
That matters too.
If you ask him, he's in charge.
Yep.
but no, technically, we're all the same rank.
Okay.
So we got Brother Hiram in front of us, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And do we re-roll then if we escalate now, or do we?
Well, at this point, you have to escalate. This will be if it goes into conflict, it goes into a totally different conflict.
Okay.
And from an OOC perspective, since considering we lost about 40 minutes just trying to get Tim on. What time do people have until? It's about 10 o'clock Central now.
I'm West Coast, so I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, I could go for a couple more hours.
Okay.
About an hour.
Okay.
Probably.
See, I'll for pacing wise, I'll keep that in mind. And as Max and I did improv for how long were you apart from him, Max?
Almost a year.
Yeah. One of the things we were pretty good at was sort of pacing things for timing, particularly when we perform with some of the other troops in the area. So yeah, so we'll get it. So we got about 11 o'clock Central.
Okay.
All right.
So, I don't mean to cut you off, Noel Bear, if you had something you had to ask. I just was ready to move on.
No. It's cool. It's totally cool.
Okay.
Just we step outside. Hiram's there. Brother Hiram, if you could just wait over there for a moment.
Okay.
I'm going to talk to the brothers and go. Now we still have work here that needs to be done, and I will see it through. But I also want to let you know right now, I am not comfortable with those women staying in that house, either because they are tokens of reward that he has not earned, or they are victims who are trapped in the house of a madman. He will do just about anything. We don't know to what extent, but we know that he will put himself first no matter what. And I'm concerned. I'm both angry with him and concerned for their safety.
Let's have this discussion in the barn, not out in the open.
Fair enough.
Let's see, because I don't have my stuff. Here we go.
I'm sorry if I'm doing this wrong.
No. I was looking.
Okay.
I was looking for Max's character's name. I look at Brother John. I said, "Well, what do you think?"
Well, I reckon while Hiram's here, we might as well take advantage of this opportunity.
And we definitely have to talk to Hiram. I was more referring to what Brother Bill was speaking of.
There ain't much we can do now. The women's are his property and the Lord's ours, whether or not we like it. But I do think that there is a rightful cause for us to go speak with Brother Malachi and see exactly how twisted and convoluted the situation may be. Before we eject ourselves in the family affairs of any man who, whether or not his most recent actions may or may not have been prideful, is nonetheless a respected member of our community.
Brother Bill, I'm reminded of a saying my Uncle Jesse said. You met him. He's full of wisdom and whatnot. He used to say to me, "Son, never judge a book after the first 2 chapters, because you never know what'll happen." So it does look bad for old Stuart Phineas, but we need to know the full story. And I would agree with my younger compatriot. Did you know you were younger, Brother John? I'm really glad you pointed that out. I think we need to talk to Brother Malachi. But I understand your concern, and maybe there is a stopgap measure we could do. But if we pull those women out of there, and the Stewart was innocent of most things, he would be ruined as a pillar of this community. And I don't rightfully think that's a good idea until we know the facts. That's my opinion, mind you. If you two want to go off and do that, I got your back. But I think there's more to the story.
I gamble on money, not women.
Fine. I'll wait then. Let's hear what Brother Hiram has to say then.
All right. I walk out the barn. Brother Hiram, would you like to kindly step into our new office?
Well,
I'll take that as a yes. Come on, son.
all right.
Ain't got all day.
He comes with you.
I point to Brother John and I kind of give him the go ahead.
All right, now, why'd you go and set that there outpost on fire, Brother Hiram?
Well, the Mountain folk have been with Malachi, and there's been some. They've been testing our defenses a little bit, and so it was one way to make sure they're unable to sit up close to us on a regular basis.
And you know Brother Malachi, Brother Hiram.
Knew him well, like many of us here.
Did you take him for a prideful man?
No, wouldn't say he was prideful as such. I think he was a good man at one time. I think he maybe was a little too much with the mountain folk. It does say, "Do not be yoked with someone who is an unequal yokage," and personally, I have just fucked up that particular Bible verse. But like with someone who is
Unequally yoked.
Yeah.
I'm rather confused about what point you're trying to make there.
Yeah, basically, he with someone who was unequal. That was Brother Hiram would have got that correct. Brother Michael
Unequally yoked.
knows a lot of that shit and forgets it. But unfortunately, he was unequally yoked, and he did have dealings with people who were not one of the faith.
Well, no one takes their yoke and more seriously than three of us.
Brother Hiram, in your own words, and to the very best of your knowledge, what happened there at that house burning?
House here?
Yes, sir.
As far as I'm aware, Brother Malachi set that fire. Now, I dislike speaking of the dead. And I will let you know that this thing I'm going to say I've heard is scuttlebutt and rumor. But I will say it was a fact that Sister Marilla was in there with David Starr, who was not one of us when she died. And I do not know what not just a man, but an outsider was doing inside the house of a sister.
Did you know Mr. David Starr?
Vaguely. David Starr came around this area. He was a prospector. He was looking for gold from the surveyor, looking for gold from the territories. Frankly, I think part of what Malachi did was we're going to be having before too long, I'm certain, a sheriff down in this area, because those surveyors, when they came in this area with mountain folk, tended to let them know. So his death was going to cause problems in the future. In fact, it'd be nice if we had Brother Malachi's head on a spike, so once the sheriff does come here finding out what happened to one of their people, we can let them know.
Now, what we heard was Brother Cyrus was the one that seen Malachi start the fire.
That's true.
What would you characterize Brother Cyrus as?
Simpleton?
Yeah, one of my brothers used to say, he strikes me as the person that's not overburdened. A fair statement.
I'll be honest, though. While he is a simpleton, I do believe him when he said this thing that happened, because Malachi has fled to the mountain folk, and Phineas took mercy on him, and exiled him, which I have to say I do not agree with.
Now say, Brother Hiram, how do you feel about our faithful steward's new expansion of the homestead? Both in terms of membership of the family and physical area.
I think Stewart Phineas overreaches himself, and he's a good man, and I just think that, well, we're all tempted. I think he listens a little more to his temptations than perhaps should. I dislike speaking of a steward in that way, but you are dogs, and I will do my best by you.
That's very pious of you, Brother Hiram. Now I do wonder if Brother Malachi had anything to do with this prideful instinct in our steward. Would you happen to have any commentary upon that insight?
Brother Malachi had anything to do with it?
Any relationship to the steward that might have cause for him to not have forfeited his life, but rather just his membership of the community as a result of his actions?
Brother Malachi was an exemplary hunter. He was able to bring in a good amount of food. In rough times, he was one of the things that kept us alive. Frankly, I would have given Brother Malachi the benefit of the doubt to many a thing.
Even the crime of murder?
Have you met Brother Cyrus?
Briefly on our entrance to this area.
He's a simple man. He's not someone who's, I believe, truly capable of guile. I mean, granted, I cannot know what goes in a man's heart when I'm not there. However,
However,
I could be wrong. I do not believe he lied. However, he could be mistaken. There could be a number of things in there, but as you must agree, sometimes it's better to sever the, or to sever the arm to save the body.
I believe you are correct in your interpretation of the book in this instance, Brother Hiram.
One last question, Brother Hiram. Stewart seemed to think that we needed guide, I guess you could say, if we were going to go try to speak with the mountain folk.
Okay.
If we were to agree to said thing, would you be the person to bring with?
I am as close as we have to someone who was a professional soldier at one point. I would like to, go with you if possible to help keep you safe. I can bring a few of my men, because I have to tell you, I do not trust Malachi and the mountain folk. There was a time when I thought they were okay, when they were trustworthy, but now, after what's happened, I cannot believe in them.
You got any other questions of Brother Hiram before we let him retire?
Yeah, where can we? So, do we already know where to find Malachi?
Well, he got to let you know because I could probably help you find him where the mountain people are. Otherwise, if you just you're unfamiliar with this area, if you just start stumbling out into the woods, you're more likely to have them find you than vice versa.
Well, I have no objection to the companionship of Brother Hiram, but if either of my associates object to his presence, I will acquiesce.
I think we need to speak
I'm
on
of
this.
two minds about it, but I would prefer to discuss that in private company. Brother Hiram, you have served us well this evening. If we have further use of your services, we will ask it, of course. Go with God.
Thank you.
Oh, Brother Hiram, I found this on the way. I hand him the blanket I took. Seems you're doing right by the community, and a little dispersion of God's gifts would be might appreciated to other common folk. Here you go, buddy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
A quick thing, I'm not going to be able to check it out till a little bit later, but it looks like someone has actually created something to help run Dogs in the Vineyard with all of the dice to get out there.
Oh, wow.
Which is cool. So instead of being able to drag all the dice, which would have been nice, there's apparently something else, but I'll have to check that out later.
Okay.
Okay.
Basically, Bill is of two minds about it. On one hand, we don't know what we're going to encounter, so having the extra backup would be prudent at the very least. On the other hand, there's clearly a what you call conflict of interest, or maybe something else, where basically I'm not certain that the people that would be going with us wouldn't be there to protect us so much as there to ensure their own interests are.
Well, I think the part of the question we have to ask is, I'm a little confused on what the conspiracy is. What conflict of interest do you think the steward or Brother Hiram have directly with Brother Malachi that's not being... I mean, what is our speculation, at least our hypothesis of what the scandal is? Because it seems kind of to me still not clear. You have a thought on that?
I have a thought.
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
Please.
Go ahead.
I think it revolves around his youngest wife, Theodosia, there.
Right.
He lost. Sorry. Malachi lost his wife about 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. My guess is he probably asked the steward if he could court this young woman, and he decided that she is might last on the eyes, so maybe he would just snatch her up. That might have set him off, but I don't know if it's to the point where he would do anything other than raise a fuss about it.
Well, then also, even if he did, why wouldn't he just be executed and get if the steward is a man of this sinful nature, why wouldn't he just take care of the issue outright?
Yeah.
Maybe he had a maybe there's a line he wouldn't cross.
Perhaps.
I don't know.
Um,
What were you gonna say, brother?
well, I was gonna say, two things. One, because I keep coming back on the, if the Stuarts is the sin of King David. King David sent, Chica's husband out to the front lines to go get killed. So, I mean, granted, it was a direct murder to make a widow out of her, to snatch her up, but it was still willing to kill. In which case, yeah, I don't know. I feel like that yeah, it's either this man has committed an act of murder and should have been executed, or he was not of right mind, in which case there should have been some other decisive action taken besides merely sending him away. Now, that's on the one side. On the other side, one of the people in there wasn't just a random hill person. He was a surveyor. And I'm thinking that there's plans laid out for the area, that either something he discovered that they were trying to hush up, or that there's otherwise plans that would disrupt whatever's going on here, that they just don't want disrupted, and so getting rid of a surveyor might help fix that. I mean, granted, I'm working on really threadbare theories here. I admit that up front, but these are just my kind of gut hunches on what's going on.
Well, in any case, I think the real decision that has to be made at this moment is whether or not we trust. We have to speak to Brother Malachi. Right? I mean, that seems to be the obvious next point of inquiry. And the question is whether or not we trust Brother Hiram to accompany us, or whether we trust our own instincts and perhaps the mercy of the mountain people, or the hospitality of them. I personally found Brother Hiram to be a very upfront individual. He acknowledged the prideful nature of the steward as well as the potential crimes committed by Brother Malachi. I think he would be objective in this mission. But that is, yeah.
Okay.
Tim, I see your lips moving. I think you're muted.
I can hear him.
Okay.
No, I can hear him.
I can't.
Oh.
Better?
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
What happened there?
I think I hit my mute button by accident.
Well, they could hear you. I'm the one who couldn't.
That's weird. But yeah, what I was saying was I would agree, and I think that bringing Hiram is a good idea, not only because he's a guide, but somebody from the community hearing the story and believing it would carry a little bit of weight with the community as well.
Okay.
Especially if we're going to kick out the steward. But I think that's the only person we take. I don't think we take a cavalcade of people.
Agreed.
Yeah, we're pretty well.
We take help, but we take Hiram, and that's it. Okay.
That sounds fair to me.
I do have one other thing we should do, but I think we can do it after. I want to talk to Cyrus, and I want to shake him down, because I have a feeling that maybe the steward got to him.
I think that's something we can do with Brother Hiram before we leave.
Well, you should
Brother
real quick.
Hiram
Pee
seems
again, real
equally
quick. I'll be right back.
skeptical.
Okay.
Go for it.
Yeah. Brother
I don't know.
Hiram
Yeah, but I think we could do it after too.
Or we could take Cyrus with us.
That's not a bad idea.
Just to see how he behaves, kind of.
Yeah, especially away from his home, away from
So-
the influence. Yeah.
Okay. So we're taking Hiram because we trust him, but we're taking Cyrus to watch his reactions.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Definitely the most interesting option.
I agree.
All right.
And when we find Brother Malachi, what? I mean, we're just gonna ask him his version of events, or do we?
Yep.
I don't see why we couldn't just start with that. Because I mean, obviously he's gonna have
Something to say.
something to say.
Yeah.
So about it.
And to be fair, he's already been punished too, so if we go about it by just saying we're just following up, maybe it goes better.
Right.
Instead of us looking to see if we should hang him right away.
Yeah, true. He's already been dealt with, so we really have nothing more to enforce unless justice has been improperly administered.
Well, this is it. I mean, I think either he didn't do it at all, or which is more the case, in which case somebody else's neck is bound for the noose, or he did it, in which case exile is not appropriate.
I'd agree with that, because what's the point of keeping him to rally up the mountain people if he's a murderer?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if he...
All right, I think we got a plan of action.
Right.
Okay.
Wait, I ran
What were you going to say, Max? I'm sorry.
No, I think that's about it. Just
Okay.
if we do believe that he has indeed committed the crime, I think we should enforce a stricter punishment. I don't know what we'll do otherwise, but that's for us to determine after we speak with him.
Okay. The plan is we're taking Brother Hiram and Brother Cyrus up into the mountains to find Brother Malachi, and just those two.
So you're bringing who with you again? Cyrus and Hiram?
Yes.
Cyrus and Hiram. Yep. And just them.
Okay. So if you finding Brother Cyrus not too hard. Hiram can tell you where he's at. Cyrus is a little bit nervous when you guys knock on the door again. He's like, "Yeah."
Brother Cyrus, was it?
Yes. How can I help you, dogs?
Well, you can get your coat and probably your gun, and if you got a horse, that might be a good idea. You're coming with us. We're going on a little expedition.
Oh, he kind of like panics a little bit. He looks over, back and forth. Is like,
Now
okay.
you know it ain't nice to turn down a request from a guest, now is it?
No, it's my gun. Hiram kind of looks at you. He's like, I don't think he'll be particularly useful with a gun.
Leave the gun. Maybe you should just get a knife or something, kiddo. It's
He
all
goes,
right.
Okay. He goes and he kind of comes out with a hunting knife. Not that it looks like it's been used much, but
All right, you just follow us, and we're going on a little expedition. It'll be fine.
okay. So you guys head out into the wilderness looking for the mountain people.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hiram's in a pretty good position to be able to sort of help lead you through that stuff. Do you let him go ahead, or you keep him?
We'll let him lead the way. I mean, we just want to go to Malachi, right?
Yeah.
We let him lead the way, but we tell him that we don't want to. We're not looking for a fight with these people right now. We want to talk to him.
Well,
And
we
he's
might be
to
looking for a
respect those
fight.
wishes.
I will see what I can do, but they might be coming after us too. Be careful. Have your guns ready. Leads you kind of through the woods to a point, and he gets to a point where he just kind of holds his hand up, waits for a second.
No. Mm-hmm.
They should be nearby. And then it's a couple moments later you hear kind of like the cock of a rifle. You kind of look around, you see in the woods a few of them that are visible, holding rifles down. Another one comes out, not quite in like the area where you're at, like close enough they could get behind a tree quick if necessary.
Hmm.
You don't have a lot of time to say something before. This is him speaking. You have a lot of time to say something before we start shooting.
We're looking for Malachi.
And we're looking to just talk right now.
Throw your guns down.
I will.
Yep, I'll acquiesce my arms as well.
I'm not carrying, so I don't have anything to surrender.
Oh, you have no weapons?
No.
Wow. Okay. They kind of check you to make sure you don't have anything else on you.
I have a knife.
Okay. With that one, Kind of take a look at it, and he's got it with him. And you've got like guns pointed at the back ears. You guys, they lead you through. Hiram and Cyrus is about to piss himself, to be honest.
That's good.
Hiram kind of curses, but realizes at one point there's not a whole lot he can do. Particularly if you guys aren't willing to fight. Like if you're gonna fight, he might have had a chance to do something, but since you're not, he's kind of fucked. So yeah, he kind of follows through. They take you through part of the woods, and you reach a small encampment. Hiram is not Hiram. Malachi very quickly kind of pops up, and when he sees Hiram, like, son of a bitch, and he looks over at the dogs. Looks at you three. This I was not expecting.
He says this so is not expecting.
He looks over and he speaks in. Will any of you speak the hill people, the mountain people's language?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Yeah. He speaks it. He speaks for a moment. They do it back and forth. He kind of insists, and they go and they actually put the knife back in your sheath and hand you back your guns.
Nice.
They don't give it back to Malachi or Cyrus, however.
That's fine. I tip my hat. That's appreciated.
And he kind of like inclines his head a bit towards you. I don't know what they've told you, but I'm still a faithful member of the faith of the King of all things, of the King of life. These two, he points at Cyrus and Hiram. These two, however, have enough blood on their hands for more than all of us.
Well, you have a story to tell. We came to hear it. You want to let us know what went on?
Did you talk to Phineas?
Oh, yes.
Did you see my betrothed?
I saw that Stuart Phineas had a fine young-looking wife. What was Theodosia? That was her name?
A sweet girl, and one I was supposed to marry.
Now you do know that betrothals and stuff have to be recognized by the steward, right?
True. However, it's one thing to disallow is not the right word. It's one thing to deny a betrothal. It's another to kill a sister, to kill an outsider in order to frame someone. She's young. If you met her, you know that. She has a simple mind, the way young women do. She was fooled. She was taken in. She's not the only one. Looks over at Malachi. How many of the wives of the men has he slept with? And Malachi just kind of looks away.
You mean Hiram?
Or Hiram, sorry. Yeah, Malachi says to Hiram. Hiram looks away.
Well, we might have picked up on a couple of irregularities with the steward's fellowship designs. That's a true statement.
Here's a question I've got for you, Malachi. You cross paths with your steward in a very serious way. Now, by all accounts, the steward could very well have simply killed you and kept doing what he was doing. Instead, he exiled you. You have a thought on why that was?
Exiled me. I fled before he had me murdered. He was going to have me strung up and killed for a crime I didn't commit.
Is this true, Brother Hiram? Brother Cyrus?
Cyrus seems like he's about to cry. Hiram goes, yes. He fled before he was killed for a crime he did commit.
Yeah.
Would you care to elaborate on your comments, Brother Hiram?
He set the fire. He killed those people. He fled before justice reached him.
I am going to pick up brother Cyrus. I'm picking up brother Cyrus bodily,
Hmm.
and we're gonna have a go. Not punching him yet,
Hmm.
but I'm lifting him up, and I'm getting real loud, and I say, "Damned it all, Cyrus! You need to tell us before God and the person that you're accusing that you swear." And I'll pull up my crappy old book. You swear on the Book of Life that you saw him set the fire. I want to hear it. I want to hear your words now.
Cyrus just breaks down sobbing. He told me it would be done. It would be taken care of if we killed him.
Who said that?
Phineas.
Uh huh.
And I didn't want to sleep with Althea, but she said she'd keep doing it if I did, and he absolutely starts to break down crying.
I'm sorry. Did you say you were sleeping with the steward's second wife? Did I hear that right?
Only once, and Hiram's like, "Shut up, you idiot!"
Only the once.
At this point, Malachi pulls his guns from his thing and then hands them towards you. Um, uh, handle first. God, that's the wrong fucking word. Hands them for you, like grip first, and says, "I'd like to surrender myself to you, dogs, in order for justice to be correctly found in Rosewood."
Well, I appreciate that. Gentlemen, do you have anything else you'd like to add at this time?
I'm just curious if Brother Hiram has anything substantial to say in response to these confession by Brother Cyrus.
Brother Hiram spits on the ground.
Do you deny?
Stay silent.
Well, and hang with the sinners.
He just sort of looks at you and then looks back down to the ground.
Well, I do believe you have some of our compatriots' equipment. We'll be taking those on the way out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm confused what you mean by compatriots' equipment.
Brother Hiram's, right?
Yeah, Brother Hiram's.
Oh yeah, the ones they took. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They kind of hand them over.
Yeah, to us, not them.
And Malachi talks briefly to the mountain people are a little confused. As he talks for a bit, and one of them, it kind of you could definitely check the like, "Are you sure?" in his body language.
Mm-hmm.
But then Brother Malachi kind of nods and turns back to you. He's like, "Dogs, I place myself within your care. I think you'll see justice done."
I think I'd
Indeed, we will.
like to, at this point, ask Brother Malachi to invite the mountain people to see a strong display of the righteousness of our faith and see that justice is truly administered in our community, and invite them along for the trials.
As he turns around, they're all for that.
As long as my brothers have no objections to...
Well, maybe not the entire goddamn gosh darn herd. I'm sorry.
Watch your language there, brother.
Even the best of us. Few, sure. That's a great idea, or at least it's an idea.
Yeah, but it scans better when you say, "Let all come bear witness to the truth and judgment of the Almighty," as opposed to just a handful of you.
Some of y'all.
Some of y'all. Yep.
Some of y'all can bear witness to truth and judgment. The rest of you can just hang back. You know.
Hear about it.
Well, I mean, Brother Bill's a deciding vote. If he wants to invite them all, I'm outvoted, and I will say, all right, this will be fun. So we're both looking at you, Bill.
All right, so we're gonna take everybody and haul on back to Rosewood to whatever constitutes the town center or town square for that area.
All right. This is a bad. Well, hey, whatever. Let's do it.
All right, so I think we're gonna head back to the town with all the mountain people.
Okay. So at
Brother
least,
Hiram, Cyrus,
the ones
and
that are there with him.
Right.
Okay.
Dear committee of Bridal Falls, I didn't believe it would happen to me.
Hey, when they all convert, you're gonna be taking credit for this.
Okay. So you head back into the town with
Yeah.
the mountain people with you. Looks you have enough mountain people with you that looked like there was going to be a little bit of a, like you might have gotten some troubles at the gates, but they looked at like 3 dogs and a bunch of mountain people and kind of they definitely thought was like, fuck this. And they opened the gates to let you guys in.
So I guess we summon Brother Phineas. Well, actually, we should talk to his wives first. Like, talk to Theodosia and confirm that she was indeed in love with, or not in love, but like in courtship with.
And I will say this, because we're getting kind of, like, I know we've got about a half an hour or so.
Yeah.
I will say, like, you get confirmation as you talk to Theodosia and such.
Oh, we do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, then there only remains to see what is to be done with Brother Phineas.
Well, we should probably hold a real open, like, quick trial to confirm on the record what's happened, and then we'll have to adjourn to discuss
Sentencing,
plans of
punishment.
action, and all that jazz.
So what? Do we want to call witnesses? How do we want to do this?
Yeah, we basically. Well, go ahead, Bill. I'm sorry.
Since we have an audience with us, what we can do is just before the eyes of truth and judgment of the Almighty God, what say you, and hear their testimony. Basically, bring them in under oath, whatever the equivalent of that is, and have them make a public statement, and then say, so that everybody that we've brought with us and everybody else in the town can hear what we have heard, and then have everybody kind of just chill and be in recess for a moment, and then we go deliberate, we come back, we say what our judgment is.
And then we deliver the mail.
By the way, got a letter for Jim. I will say, Phineas and Hiram both refuse to speak. Theodosia throws herself on your, and Cyrus both throw themselves on your mercy. That they were fooled, they were tricked, they were bewitched by the devils in there. Althea, actually, when she comes onto the witness stand, claims that it was Theodosia who convinced her to corrupt her to sleep with Brother Cyrus to try to bring him in, and that she and Phineas were working at trying to take over the rest of the town and take complete control.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
One thing I want to do is the mountain person that came out and spoke English to us. He's going to translate to the rest of the mountain people. I don't want Malachi doing that.
Yeah, there's a decent amount who do speak English, and there's several of them who speak.
Okay.
Who can speak it.
Okay, good deal.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, if that's a testimony, I think we adjourn and have a discussion.
Yes.
Certainly. Well, I think it's pretty clear that at bare minimum, Brother Phineas will not be serving as steward of this community any longer.
That is both the minimum and a poor minimum at that. But
for his lust for power and of the flesh and of the lengths he has gone to secure them, his life is forfeit.
I was gonna say, as they're talking, Brother Bobby Ray has found a chalkboard and he's drawn a little noose next to Althea, and he's drawn a little noose next to Stuart Phineas. He's like, you boys keep talking, don't mind me.
Well, what about, do you believe that Theodosia had nothing to do at all with this conspiracy?
She has nevertheless committed an act of adultery. And while I will not call for her life, she still should be judged.
Well, not to mince words here, brother, but if she was married to the Stewart, she really didn't commit adultery.
No, but I mean, we have the testimony from what's the second wife's name?
Althea.
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 Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry.
That-
I meant Althea, not Theodosia. Theodosia was
The youngest wife.
Yeah. Theodosia. Theodosia was either
Althea's telling the truth or
either
Theodosia is.
Yeah.
And we
Either-
don't really have strong testimony one way or the other.
I'm not one to judge, even though we're judging. But if I were to try to take a young 22-year-old's word for it that she was young and stupid, versus a 40-year-old who just got shown the second bed, if you know what I mean, I might believe the person that's younger and a little bit less wise to be telling
So
the
what
truth.
is her? So what? Theodosia was fooled into thinking that her lover had set fire to a building and committed open rebellion against the community?
Well, she was. I'm willing to accept either that she was property by marriage and was stolen away and thus should be restored, or that she was a person constrained into a kind of slavery, possibly in fear for her own life, given that we're looking at people who are willing to commit murder to see them out, and I would hold her blameless on that count as well. So I'm willing to let Theodosia go. Althea, on the other hand,
She has clearly committed adultery.
She has clearly committed adultery, and should be punished accordingly.
What's that punishment in your eyes?
Well, how tall do you think she is? She's about 5'2", so we got to make the rope. Okay.
All right.
Don't mind me. And it's not just adultery. If that was it, then the exile or shaving their head or something like that. But she helped mastermind a myriad web of tragedy that was this stewardship. She needs to be hung right next to her husband. In my humble opinion.
Yeah.
I will say this is my favorite part of this game because people argue morality you'd find disgusting.
Wait,
I love
did
this
we
part.
do we have any
Yeah,
testimony
for
from
the-
anyone?
For the adultery, I wouldn't. Yeah, for the adultery, I wouldn't want to see her hang or killed or however they do it here. But for being an accessory to murder, yeah, I'd be willing to see her neck get stretched for that one.
The other option is if we oh, go ahead, sorry.
Oh, no, I was
just
gonna move on.
the other thing is just there's the matter of his first wife and his house. You know what? I want to burn his house down. All his material possessions. just raise that fucker.
Not to stop the righteous acts of a man filled with the temperament of angels, brother Bill. But typically, a steward's house is something that when the steward leaves, that's held in trust for the next steward of the town to reside in. Ain't no reason to be burning a house. House didn't sleep with anybody. That's my opinion.
Well,
I don't see any need to destroy the house. However, I do think we should consider what should be done with Brother Cyrus and Brother Hiram.
I think Brother Hiram is the easy one. Brother Hiram should face the same justice that Brother Malachi was given in lieu of, which is to say he is exiled from community, will not be reaching the kingdom of heaven.
And Brother Cyrus?
I would entertain discussion on Brother Cyrus. My first inclination would be the same thing, but I would be open to hearing what you guys have to say on the matter.
Well, not only did he commit adultery, whether or not it was at the request of the steward, but he also elicited false testimony against his fellow man. I don't think that there is any reason to show mercy, despite his simple nature, given that it has been manipulated for purposes of pure evil.
In that case, he can choose his tongue or his balls.
Well,
he picks one and loses the other.
Holy fuck!
That seems a little extreme.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I'm going to go with maybe he should play a hand against me in order to determine whether his tongue or his testicles are removed.
I'm the one that has prideful. God.
We're letting him choose because we're merciful people.
And we're taking after our mentor.
I will totally let him take a card from your character. Hi, black card you pick, red card we pick.
Right. I think that's fair.
That's funny. And I am never getting an assignment with newbies again. So I'm in favor of this.
And will Brother Malachi take the place of Brother Phineas as steward of the town, or is that for us too?
That's pushing it. No, that Bridal Falls will send somebody else. We would just reestablish Brother Malachi as a full member of the community, and his name is cleared. Okay. I mean, that would be what I'd do if you want to give him the house. Well, shoot, I ain't gonna.
I don't think there's any reason to. I mean, he didn't do anything particularly noble, or. I mean, to be fair, he still has rallied up mountain people against members of our faith.
Although, to be fair, Brother Cyrus did set a fire that killed his sister.
Did he set the fire? Is that the?
Well, not his actual sister, but.
Yeah. But he set the fire.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't even know that he deserves. It's just more amusing for him to pick his fate.
It is, but I think we have.
He's a murderer, and we should kill him.
I think we need to kill him. Yeah, that's ridiculous what he just did. Now that I say it out loud, it's like, yeah.
I would say we let Brother Hiram draw a card, because Brother Hiram has honorably served his steward, but nonetheless still trespassed against the ultimate truth.
Okay, so what's his two options then? Exile was one of them.
There's a playing card deck I've just put on the thing.
His balls.
His balls.
His tongue, his balls.
Oh God! You know what? Fine. That's what Cyrus gets. That's fine. It's funny.
Wait, Hiram or Cyrus? Cyrus dies or?
I think, okay, so my vote so far is, well, let's just establish, we're hanging Phineas, right? Everybody good with that?
Oh, yes.
Everybody good with the hanging? I love this conversation. All right. Althea, is everybody good with a hanging on that one?
Yes.
Righteous. Well,
I still feel a little bit
Oh,
torn
wait.
between
Oh, wait.
Althea
Althea
and
was the second
Theodosia.
wife, right?
Second wife. The second
Okay.
manipulative wife. Yes.
Okay.
I feel a little torn in terms of the only testimony we have against. So we have testimony against Theodosia that is from Cyrus. But Michael, have we heard anything from anyone else regarding that matter?
No, mostly it's just that group. They've kept fairly private.
If
Yeah.
we called what's her name,
We'll
Luina, would
we'll
she say
restore
something?
Theodosia to, since we outrank stewards anyways, we will restore Theodosia to her relationship with Homeboy, and
I don't agree with that.
I don't either. Like they weren't
That-
married, and also
No.
I don't know that Theodosia is necessarily innocent of conspiracy. Like we have
Yeah.
only one testimony. I honestly think Theodosia should be exiled personally
I'm okay with that.
because she's caught up in this. And
Wait,
in any case, when
are
you
we talking about
community,
the youngest wife or the second wife?
We're talking about
The youngest wife.
youngest wife now.
The youngest wife. Okay, because the second wife, I'm for hanging.
Yeah, we're
The
hanging it.
youngest wife,
I think we can hang her.
she either she was either I don't know. I think the very least, she was given as marriage to this other man before the eyes of God, and
Were they married?
was stolen away
Were
from them.
Malachi and Theodosia actually married?
No, they were supposed to be.
No, they were supposed to be. And what I'm saying is, we should reinstate their betrothal, or actually, it was probably never approved of by the steward in the first place. So we should step in as proxies to the steward of this community and officially declare them betrothed.
Yeah, I'm not down with that.
Yeah, and my objection to that is that we have testimony that she was
Part of it.
conspirator too. Yeah.
Oh,
Therefore, I don't.
Like
I don't necessarily- yeah.
there's a middle step, and let me pitch this as an idea.
Her balls.
Her balls. No. Malachi was exiled and told that he would never go into the kingdom, and et cetera, et cetera. We can just banish her from the community and then give her a chance to still have a life inside the Book of Life, basically. But she could never come back to Rosewood.
I think that's a just punishment.
Are you good with that, Bill?
well, I don't know. I guess it just I'd like to bring some restorative justice back to Malachi, and to the crime of being stupid is not the same as the crime of being evil. And I guess
That's the
I'm
difference
just
between
seeing.
hanging and banishment.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's best to even if
Yeah.
our punishment is even if she was not part of the conspiracy, it's important for this town to be completely severed from the sinful past that has cursed it, and to be able to move on completely. If we maintain Theodosia's position within the faith but force her to move to another community, it's very possible that Brother Malachi will go with her, and then this whole mess can be left behind, and the townfolk can, and whoever in Brattle Falls can choose the rightful leader of the community.
Right, and that could be Malachi's decision. If he decides
Right.
to leave with her, then that could still be a good ending for them. But
Okay.
all right, so we're putting down banishment for Theodosia. So we got 2 hangings and a banishment. Not a bad day's work.
And then Brother
So
Hiram
Phineas and
or
Althea
Brother
being
Cyrus. What's up?
So Theodosia and Althea and Phineas are being hanged.
Yep.
And I would say Brother Cyrus should be hanged, and Brother Hiram should be given the choice of punishment for his misguided loyalty.
Yes.
I want to hear what the choices are, because that's
His
part
tongue
His tongue or his
Or
balls.
his balls.
He chooses one and loses the other.
He didn't sleep with anybody's wife.
Yeah, but he was a coward for not standing up to unrighteous.
Oh.
You're terrible people. It's hilarious.
I would say we could make him pull a card for either exile or hanging.
Or I'm okay with like a left hand because he raised hands against an innocent brother.
Yeah.
I'm okay with pulling a card for hanging or exile. Those are his options.
Well, what is the crime that he did? What is the crime that he did? I mean,
Hiram did.
Yeah.
Like Hiram has not been like pedophile since he heard the truth. Is that a fair statement, Michael?
Is what? He's not been.
Hiram is not like
Expressed remorse over
over Malachi's testimony or any of that stuff.
Yeah,
Right?
he's not respect remorse or anything like that. No, correct.
No. Yeah. Like I kind of thought he was sort of innocent in it until that whole thing happened.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with punishment. I just want to hear what it is. That's all.
I think either exile or death. And by exile, I don't mean the same type that Theodosia experiences.
No.
I mean straight up from
The full scarlet letter F you. Yeah.
And honestly, exiling him, it seems that the mountain people bear him no goodwill either.
Right. So it's
Very
probably
well.
the same. Exile with 24 hours notice. Like it's like the most dangerous game.
Then
Yeah,
we
we-
start to hunt you.
Anybody have anything to say about the first wife of the Stewart? That was the last thing on my list.
Yeah, the first wife.
Can a woman be a steward? I don't know how this community works.
Yes, but
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't want her to be steward. I mean, they can bring in, and if a woman of the community or something happens to be steward, that's fine. But I don't know.
So we just hang her too?
No.
clean sweep.
Just clean it
Bobby
all out.
Ray is ecstatic.
She. I think I would like to see her
Maybe Malachi
absolved
should be
and
married to
restored.
her.
So here's the thing: she should be rebaptized in the faith and then married to the new steward.
Maybe she should be married to Malachi as compensation for his bride having been stolen.
Who is this?
The oldest wife. I think that's not a good idea.
I don't know, I'm just instigating. Honestly, I still think her balls are her tongue. But
You know what we could do? We could put her fate in Malachi's hands and pass the buck on this. That would be
that's what I'm saying. At least he should be able to determine her fate, considering that our steward's pride took his own, bride to be from him.
Bill, you okay with that idea?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, we won't, maybe.
I'm trying as much as possible. Trying to fit the punishment to the crime, and
Well, as far as we know, she hasn't done anything, so really
right, exactly. So, but I don't know if we're necessarily doing Malachi any favors or her any favors. I would like to see. I mean, I don't know. I wanted originally just have anything with the taint of Phineas's corrupt heart just kind of get burned down, and then let the wife be restored by getting rebaptized. But
I think that's a just solution as well. If she, as far as we know, has no participation in the crime, she might as well just start her life anew.
Yeah.
I don't think in this community though.
No, again,
No.
like, I mean,
Tell
but
you
maybe
what,
that's
well, is there like a Salt Lake City or a Central Church or something that
Bridal
follows?
Falls
Bridal
has
Falls
one.
is basically the center of the faith.
Okay, then we send her back to Pride Falls to be rebaptized and reanointed in the faith, and then she's welcome to choose her own fate from there.
And that's for Lavinia?
Yeah, I like that.
I think
All
that's
right.
fair. Yeah.
All right, I think we got it.
Okay.
Okay. So you
Wait,
go
hold
through-
up. Before. Oh, I was just gonna say one thought. Should we just let the mountain people do something with one of them in order to encourage them to join our faith? Like let Brother Hiram, let them do their thing. Because we also have a conversion opportunity here.
I don't want them to do it. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, no.
It's
No,
the
it should
justice
be
should
us.
come from us. Yeah,
Okay, I just
Yeah.
was.
I think they would respect that too. So, all right.
Yeah, I was
They
gonna
were
throw
they
that
were
out
they were they were wrongly implicated in this crime, and so we've brought them
there.
here
We've corrected it.
only
Yeah.
to bear witness to justice being served in this matter, so that lest they feel like their names are still besmirched. So we brought them here merely for satisfaction on that count, and we have not. I don't think it's appropriate to have a hang-in and then to have a call to Jesus afterwards in this particular instance.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay, so
We are fully restoring Malachi. That's the
Yes.
other thing.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, good deal.
so if I've got it correctly, you have Phineas hanged,
Yes.
Althea hanged,
Yes.
Theodosia was banishment,
Yes.
Cyrus was hanged.
Yep.
Okay. Hiram, balls, tongue, or left hand.
I
I
thought
think
it was exile or death.
hanging.
Exile or death. Yep.
Okay. Lavinia sent to Bridal Falls,
Yep.
Yes.
and Hiram will take the exiling, and then Malachi is restored to a full member of the town.
Yes.
Right.
then
I think brother Hiram has to pull a card to see if he
Yeah,
gets
we gotta do a little
pull a
gambling.
card. You notice there's a card on the thing.
Yeah.
I put a card deck. You can just pull one. I shuffled it.
Where is
So so red card he gets hung, black card he gets exiled, something like that.
Yeah, where's the card deck? Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
So red card is death, black card exile, or vice versa?
Yep. Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Red is death. Red is dead.
It's a red card, so he's dead.
Okay.
How can you tell?
'Cause it went into his hand. Like if he were to take
Oh,
it
okay.
and put it,
Can I put it somewhere so everyone can see?
Oh,
yeah, if you put it on the table,
It is on the table.
yep, right there.
Yeah.
What? Okay, if you want to actually see, because we're a little low on time because by the time we got started, I just put in the Dogs in the Vineyard folder. There's a thing for Rosewood. These are the notes I took.
Oh, cool.
This is like how you create a town roughly. Because I've done it a couple times before, I skipped a couple of the steps and combined them. But this is like all the stuff that was going on, and we didn't have time to get to everything. But that's sort of like Dogs in the Vineyard is like a perfect single shot, like a one-shot campaign that picks up on occasion.
yeah.
And the nice thing is, if you actually play the same group of people for a while, you start to really define what the faith actually says about everything. Because
Mhm.
the game itself is a little vague on some of the specifics.
Nice.
So cool.
So all we had mistaken was that Brother Hiram. We thought Brother Cyrus killed Sister Marilla, whereas it had been Brother Hiram.
Mhm.
Okay, but they both died anyway. So.
Yeah. And the sheriff didn't show up and some stuff like that, but yeah. So cool, yeah, that concludes Dogs in the Vineyard.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That last half hour I fucking love because I just listened to you guys discuss
His balls are his.
heroically or like just ethically incredibly terrible stuff that none of us agree with, and I fucking love
Although
it.
I feel like in this case we were fairly like you know, it was murder.
Mhm.
So it wasn't as controversial.
In real life, though, you're never going to be like, it's your balls or your tongue.
that. But that was Noble Bear.
Yeah, and it's like usually like if you're the con I
he
work
committed adultery and he bore false witness, but he you know
justifying it's
he
great.
did it afterwards. So yeah, so we should let him choose.
Yeah, it's one of those like if you're the con, which is also like a 4-hour slot. Like I do it the last night. It's the second day. It's the very last slot. So basically, we have 3 hours a game, and the last like hour is me just watching them argue. It's beautiful.
Horrible.
It's so great. I fucking love it. It's because it's like at that point I've been running games for 24 hours at that point. I get to like stop and just at the end and just watch people argue this amazing stuff. It's fantastic. I love it.
Oh, this was a lot of fun. Thank you so
so
much.
cool.
Thanks for setting it up.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, quick question. Did you guys get an email from the when I posted the thing in?
Oh, like the 24-hour notice or something?
Well, I posted the thing in the campaign, like just like Dogs in the Vineyard. Did you get an email about that on the one-shot games?
No.
I put like hangout link or the Vineyard.
I think I got an email about something. Let me check.
I just got one about because I hadn't signed up for Roll20 before, so it was just like about how Roll20 works. But I didn't get any email about your campaign.
Yeah,
Maybe I will in the future. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, check. That's one of those things where I'll probably post something on Facebook, Fear the Boot, and then on here because I've got some other people like Meg, who's someone from around here. Garrett, who is from the Improv Mafia at Illinois State, which is the improv troupe I started there. Chris B, who could be one of 3 people. And Kevin, who was in a show I directed last year. We're all sort of interested, but I know some of them couldn't make it.
Yeah, I can't make it regularly, but I'd be down to play again, especially, I mean, I'll have rehearsals coming up soon, but a weekday night for the next couple of weeks, and then eventually maybe a Sunday night or something like that.
Oh man, yeah, I'd love another shot at this, especially because now that I kind of have a sense of it and stuff, like a chance to maybe retool my character and then jump back in it again. That would be fantastic.
I'll say, Max, like the games I prefer tend to be like much more role playing based than
just way more fun.
Oh, we could show Max Monster Hearts, Michael.
Oh.
I'm not even saying that because Max is here. I just want to play Monster Hearts.
Well, I will be honest. Like I've run like a summer long like really cool Monster Hearts game. Like Apocalypse World is one that I would probably run before Monster Hearts again. Though I ran a kick-ass Apocalypse World game for a while. But yeah, like I said, most of the ones like the ones I actually have set up on this particular one shot. There's a couple others I'm going to add. I mean, I've got Firefly, Ghostbusters. The old Ghostbusters game is quick and fun. Tech Noir, which is really cool. Wield, which is essentially you're playing the One Ring or Stormbringer or something else, and someone else is playing the person wielding you, and vice versa. Marvel Heroic is on here. Like I've got some stuff that's very easy, quick.
Marvel Heroic. I've got that core book, and once I finally got it, I loved it.
Yeah, we unfortunately like the game we played on Saturday because we're doing a mixed. Tim is part of the mixed heroic and Marvel Cortex Plus dramatic game.
Oh, right on.
Cortex Plus dramatic is amazing, but those two we didn't end up with a ton of time to play because we had to get some stuff finished with characters. But
yeah, it takes a bit of time and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll definitely put stuff up either on probably on all the three of those things on this one, on Facebook, and on Fear the Boot on occasion because this summer I'm not directing a show, so I'll have some time that I don't normally have.
Okay.
So, cool. I had a blast, guys. I hope you had fun.
Thank you so much for hosting this, Mike. I really appreciate it.
Definitely doing that again.
So much fun.
Cool.
I'll see you Sunday, Michael.
Later, guys.
Good night, gentlemen.
All right, gentlemen, it has been fun. Thank you very much.
Good night.